I had a great weekend.
I bet you did. You were in San Francisco walking around.
I did. I have to thank you for that, by the way.
Italian tours.
It was a lot of fun. It was and we don't talk about it that much, but you've been really great to me over the past couple of years, and I've been.
You're a great man.
Well, I've been thinking because we're hitting 300 on Wednesday, and I told you that we were thinking about going to San Francisco for our anniversary, but hotel rooms are just insane up there. And you were you didn't tell me right, but you gave me some extra money so I could go for my anniversary. So I think we really had a great time.
We're a family here, and sometimes I felt guilty about not taking you to Boston. The plane tickets were so expensive.
Oh, they're crazy.
So I gave you the same amount for the plane ticket. You know, sometimes you want to do something for somebody, something nice. And you know what? Like I'm a retard, but I'm not a moron, okay? And I know sometimes if I'm going to buy you something for $200,
right?
I'm going to go, you know what? What's Lee going to need more? Does he want $200 for some stupid fucking New England shirt? Or does he want $200 to go get this nice fucking dinner with his wife that he could both enjoy? You follow me? That's the type of guy I am. So sometimes when I see, like, I don't get people a lot of shit, but sometimes I see something and I go, that fits that person's needs. I'm going to get it for them. And I look at the price tag and I go, what does this person really need from me? Does he need this stupid fucking football shirt or a hat that I was going to get you one time for $300? Or do I give him the $250 and let him go enjoy it? You follow me? That's the type of motherfucker I am. Right. So, and it's nice to get a hat from time to time. I'm not saying nothing bad.
No, it's great, but it's also like
you part of me for
part of me for a second was like, ooh, I have all these bills, I could pay some bills, but then I was like, she really wants to go, and I want to go.
What it's all
we had
about,
a great
man.
time. It was.
Listen, you put work in. I'm not a big 10-day fucking vacation guy on a cruise.
No.
But I tell you what, a change of scenery does the soul great sometimes.
Really
Lee, I'm talking about, honey, we got no money, but I have enough to take you to San Diego or to Costa Mesa to get a sandwich and just to walk on the boardwalk. You know how many people like that? You know how many people yearn to do something like that?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the simplest things, Lee. I've always been into the simplest things. You know, and sometimes you have such a better time. Some of the best times I've had was when I was broke and making the best out of $18.
Yeah.
You know, making the best out of $18 with somebody.
We didn't really do a lot of crazy things up there. We stayed in a nice hotel, but other than that, we went and did one of those tandem bikes, not the ones that are like two seat, like back and back, but it's like you sit side by side. That was fun. We walked around like the Hippie Hill. Have you been in the Golden Gate Park?
Fuck yeah. I worked across the street from Golden Gate Park.
Really?
In 1985.
What were you doing?
Bartending.
Oh, wow.
I had a bar called Rockin' Robins across from the McDonald's on the corner. Did you see that McDonald's on the corner of Haight-Ashbury? It could be a Burger King.
We went to Haight-Ashbury, and there's that Ben & Jerry's. I went to that record store right like a block down, and I got 2 Richard Pryor albums. And I took a Star before I went. It was a lot of fun. It was just like, when am I going to be up there?
San Francisco is a very neat city that everybody should see. It was the first big city I saw when I got out of New York, and I immediately fell in love. Only
it's great.
One thing I got to tell you. I wanted you to stay at a nice hotel because that's a bad place to stay at a bad hotel. And I'm not putting the city down or anything. The Tenderloin, all that shit down there, that shit's real.
Yeah, we walked by it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that shit's real. And I as a young man, I was up there at the age of 20, and I saw more blood in a summer than I saw my whole fucking life in New York City.
Really?
Right by the old Original Joe's, I saw a guy getting stabbed once, and the blood was fucking black, like he was clinging to fucking life. You know, I saw another guy get stabbed. I saw a fist fight with sticks one time when I was walking, because I used to take the bus back from Haight-Ashbury to the whatever the fuck I just told you, the Tenderloin, and I'd have to walk 2 or 3 blocks. I saw shit at night that was just, I saw a pimp beating the fuck. I caught the tail end of the chick on the floor by the bus station in the Tenderloin. So that was all, and fucking, plus I saw the guy that was a bougaron hit the gay guys and smack their wig off. I saw a lot of crazy shit, so I'm happy that you stayed in a nice hotel and you had no problems.
It was great.
Remember when they used to have that show about the hookers? Didn't they have a documentary years ago on HBO about hookers?
Yeah, they had a bunch of them. I love those shows.
In San Francisco, yeah. It's crazy up there. The Chinese mob is up there.
Really?
You know? Yeah, that's all Chinese run.
I don't know if it's, like, I'm the smallest person. Like, I'm not a tough guy at all, but I've always been, maybe I'm stupid, I don't really get scared in cities. Like, I make good choices. I I don't really go. I've never walked through
You're not
Harlem.
gonna go buy crack at a neighborhood at 3 in the morning.
But like if I was walking, like our hotel was right next to the Tenderloin, and we saw some people who were like, we probably wouldn't want to hang out with them. But if I was just walking, minding my business, like they're not gonna. Like I don't. I've never felt like scared that they would mess with me if I'm not being nosy, if I'm not like trying to like mess with them. If I just walk by, I don't think anyone's gonna mess with you.
I tell you, it's all in your body language sometimes.
Yeah.
Your body language really tells a lot of you, tells the energy that you're giving off. Sometimes if you walk, some people walk and they antagonize people because they're flexing their arms or their muscles. You know, sometimes, it's just body language is so much. I used to go into deep neighborhoods late at night and I'd be scared shitless, but I knew if I contained my body and I kept eye contact to a limit and I walked like I had done it 1,000 times before.
Yeah.
Nobody would fuck with me, Atlanta was great too. I had a great time.
Was it really?
Yeah, it's a nice little fucking club, man. It's very quaint. The people were very nice. A nice little family, a nice couple came and gave me a candle from the Chattanooga Candle Company, a coconut motherfucking cream pie. Smells delicious.
You haven't been to Atlanta since I've known you. I don't think. Well,
No,
other than
because
Rogan's special.
Right, the Tabernacle. They have the Skull Bones, which is 73 seats. So if I had 200 people there on Thursday, I'd have to do 3 shows on a fucking on a Thursday night.
Is it an earthquake or is someone below us doing something?
I don't know. I think somebody below is banging fucking something. So it was the Improv was like a year old. It's a great little club. Nice little have sushi on the menu.
Really?
The only knock I had was that they put me at a hotel where all there was a palm and room service, and the California fucking Cheesecake Factory across the street. So every time I go to California Cheesecake Factory, there's a 45-minute wait even to sit at the fucking bar.
Yeah.
So I either had to eat room service or the Palms, which, it's not fucking bad, but it's not what I usually want to fucking spend for lunch and dinner and
Right, it gets
breakfast.
expensive.
Yeah, it gets fucking expensive. So weird you tweeted a picture of Original Joe's, and it's funny how I said to you, you go, and you go, I got to talk her into it. It's so funny how every time we go to San Jose, you've been with me. How many times do we eat at Original Joe's? Basically every meal.
We went for breakfast once. It wasn't even breakfast, but we woke up and you're like it opens at 10:30 or whatever it opened, and we were there as they opened the doors.
Steak, eggs with toast, and they put the steak on the toast with the butter.
I don't think we even got eggs. I think we got spaghetti.
We got spaghetti or something, but it's when we talk about food on the show or restaurants, I want people to know this so they know what I'm talking about. Man, if you go to that Luger place, Peter Luger in New York, that's a great steak.
Okay.
There's a bunch of places you go for a great steak. And I'll tell you what, on the way out, it's going to cost you $55. I don't know about you guys. I can't pay $55 for a steak. That's a once-in-a-fucking-lifetime thing for me. We get the mashed potatoes, and, we go to the lunch special at Ruth Chris and get the mutt thing, the fucking 8-ounce steak or something. When I talk about great steak, and I know people who listen to the podcast don't have the money to go to these fucking restaurants.
No.
But Original Joe's is one of those places that I could get a steak in there for $21. And it's fucking delicious with the onions and the mushrooms and the side of pasta. I love that place. To me, I don't like going to a place where I don't belong. Like there's places where I don't belong, man.
Right.
They got 19 fucking forks. I just need one motherfucking fork. You know what I'm saying? I don't need 19 fucking forks for my salad and for the etouffee and shit. I'm not eating bread no more.
Really?
No, I stopped.
You cut out all bread? Good for you. That's hard.
I got the wheat pasta, and the wheat pasta, I don't know the difference between that and the pasta except the fucking carbs are the same. So what's the fucking difference? But I guess
I think it's a lie. Because I thought that when I first started looking, you think something like whole wheat is going to be better for you, and then it's not. I feel like they
just eating the pasta isn't good for you because of the gluten and you get puffy and whatnot. But I was looking at that last night. I had pasta, whole wheat pasta, a cup, and I'm still fucking dying here carb wise.
Well, this weekend proved it to me is that it's all about working out because we stopped and Ari stopped at this place called Casa de Fruta with a whole bunch of candy. We got McDonald's ones, and I lost weight in San Francisco.
Well, you walked.
We walked everywhere, so that's all it is. That I feel like that. I mean, you have to keep your diet under control, but if I can lose weight eating candy and McDonald's, and you're walking up and down hills, that's all really. Because you work out a lot. You work out almost every day. It seems like.
Well, I try to do something every day.
Yeah.
A little something every day. Tomorrow I walk Mercy, and I'm gonna take my wife to breakfast, and we're gonna go doing Doug with movies or high or whatever the fuck it is. Then I'll come back and I'll try to deadlift or something. I'll go to jiu-jitsu Wednesday. By Thursday, I'll take a day off. Maybe Friday, do upper and lift.
Okay.
I always try to do something. This week I did some great stuff. I got on the bicycle for 20 minutes, then I jumped on the elliptical for 30, and then I jumped in the pool for 20. And I got to tell you, I was fucking sore Sunday. When I flew Sunday from Atlanta,
Yeah.
I couldn't even fucking move. Do you know I slept 3 hours on the flight?
Oh, good for you.
You know that my sleeping, ever since I went to jiu-jitsu and learned to breathe on my back and not panic, I'm sleeping now, brother.
So it's not like you're losing weight and it's just lessening the sleep apnea.
Well,
You
I
feel
think
like
that too. I think that
Okay.
but I'm also not having that fear. I had a big time fear of being on my back. Anybody who has sleep apnea and the numbers are high, you develop a fear because you wake up choking. And there's nothing worse than waking up.
So I understand waking up choking is scary, but like how does that translate to in jiu-jitsu when you're awake?
Okay, because after you go through that and after you get it treated,
Okay.
you still have the lingering effects of the going on your back.
Okay.
And every once in a while when you go for air, let's say you go to move and you put your shoulder on the hose or something and the air locks up and you miss air, you go into that panic state.
Oh, fuck.
And that's what was happening to me. I went to see the psychotherapist, but it was nothing about that. It was just getting on my back and overcoming the fear. Remember when Hegan was here? He told the story about getting on the guy, and the guy said, "Get off me, I'm panicking." And he goes, "No, breathe, stop what you're doing, and think about this, and get me off you." If you don't panic and you capture your breathing again, and your mind clears, because breathing really keeps your mind very clear. No matter what's happening to you, if you keep breathing in and out your nose, and at least you know where you are, it clears your mind. It makes you block or run or see an opening. Oh, he left his leg opening, or he dropped his knife on the floor. I could stab him in the calf. Breathing. Just keep breathing. Even in jiu-jitsu, when you go for like a big thing, like he goes for you, you go for him, you stop. Now you stop. You're breathing. You're collecting your thoughts. You're looking at him. Now you're looking at his right arm, but you're going for the left arm.
Right.
So there's just little things. Breathing controls all that. Breathing is everything. Breathing controls the lifting. When you lift weights, if you do certain exercises a certain way, if your breathing is aligned with your body, you're an unstoppable force. I was never taught to breathe till 5 years ago.
What do you mean by that?
I was doing everything and holding my breath.
Oh, okay, got it.
Okay, so the weights come on me instead of breathing. So as they go down, you exhale, and as you go up, you either inhale or exhale. I don't know which ones. I'm just saying once I'm on there, so boom, boom, and so it's all with your breath. Your breath controls a lot of movements.
Right, yeah.
When people are boxing and they throw a punch, they throw those little things out, whatever the fuck they do.
Jabs.
And then they retract through their nose, then they spit out through their mouth. But in every aspect, breathing is like when I go swimming, I have to change my breathing. Because as I'm going, if I'm pushing, I'm sucking in.
Okay.
As I'm putting my head up, I'm sucking in oxygen. Once my head goes down again, I'm blowing it out in the water. So when you see somebody swimming, when they turn their head, they're breathing.
Right, yeah.
And as they go back in, they're exhaling. Breathing. And then they get into a beat. So for every 2 things they do with their arms, they might pop their head up to the side. But they don't pop it to flex their muscles. It's all part of this motion. Boom, 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 boom. So it's all part of a motion. When you see a really good swimmer, when you see guys like you and me, we go for air. When you see a really good swimmer breathe, it goes through the motion, through his arms. He just pops it right there. That motion, he's inhaling. And as he hits into the water, you see bubbles coming out.
Right.
Like, all of a sudden, I'm fucking SpongeBob SquarePants and shit.
Is that what happened to you at the store? Do you think you hold your breath for too long? Or?
No, I just walked up the stairs and wasn't thinking and just had negative thoughts in my mind, and they escalated into something else with the reefer. When I go for a blood test, if I don't feel that needle, everything's cool. It's
Okay.
once I feel the needle, it sends a message to my brain, and my brain decides to do something with that message. Either I control it, or I let it grow out. If I breathe normally and listen to the music and dance while I'm getting the blood taken out, everything's fucking primo.
Yeah.
But if I tense up from that thing, once I tense up my breath, now I'm catching my breath. And now I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going to faint. Oh my God, I'm going to faint. And I'm going to fucking faint because you're telling yourself you're going to fucking faint.
Right. That's what happens to me. I have an issue when I get high around Paula because she doesn't do it that often now anymore.
She doesn't want to do it no more.
She just can't because she has the DA. Like she can do it maybe sometimes, but almost never. But if I see her, I start to giggle sometimes. And I was wondering, do you ever get giggly on weed? Like, do you ever sit at home
All the time.
and just
Friday,
can't
Monday,
stop?
when we ate the 500 milligrams, I kept going home and thinking about calling you, telling you, hey, did you ever hear from that Dave T-shirt guy?
Nope.
All right, we're going to put the fucking pressure on him on Wednesday.
Oh, that was so terrible because I was high out of my mind, and I don't like confrontation. And he was getting all these calls and pizza sent to him, and I was like, he's gonna call the police. We're gonna go to jail for
we can't do nothing.
harassment.
He can't do dick.
I was like,
he can't do dick.
I'm
I'll
gonna
call him
have to testify
tomorrow and
against
ask him,
Joey.
you forget about us, cocksucker? Don't make me start the fucking regime at 8:01 again tomorrow, because that's what we'll do. We fucked his world up. He was getting pizzas. He got everything. Fuck him, dog. He was a scumbag to us. He was just a jerk. He wasn't even polite. He was just plain out fucking rude.
Oh, I know.
You tried to be nice. I tried to be nice. And what do you want me to do? What the fuck I want you to do? Make good on this shirt. Well, you can't do that. Then what are you talking about? Then why do business with you?
Right. Yeah.
Then we're going to fuck up your Yelp. So when all these fucking Uber drivers call you to get a T-shirt, they know you're a fucking sack of shit. We should just call them right now on the podcast and tell them what we fucking think.
You want to do it?
Fuck yeah. Tell this cocksucker what's cracking and shit. We'll send the fucking cop. I feel like going down there with the cops. That's what we should do. Now leave him alone because I want to talk about drug rips today. We got my main man Joey Fillato. You know, when I told that story that day on how I would set up a drug rip, I got so many fucking emails.
Really?
Oh my God! It was like people's mind were blown. Like they had never heard, they had never watched a TV show before, nothing like that.
It's crazy how, for you it's totally normal and it's, but for people like me and I think a lot of the listeners, it's just like, at most the most we ever did is buy weed from some kid at the high school, and I never even did that. And you're talking about casing places, and it's just like, whoa.
Oh my God! Yeah. You know, when you write the stories out, that's when I really realized how fucking crazy I was and how crazy the situation was. You know, when Ari was telling me to get stories ready, I wrote a story about robbing a drug dealer before I went to Colorado the first time. And just writing it on paper almost gave me a nervous breakdown.
What was it about?
It was just a guy that my mother knew, and they would come up from Miami in those days and get hotels in Union City, and you get 2 or 3 hotel rooms, and that's how you sell the coke. And you know, you go to the room, and then they take the money, and they call somebody, and you would call from room to room to room.
Oh, okay.
So you had to put somebody with binoculars to watch and see what room they came out of.
Jesus.
And then you had to put cars there, and anytime they moved out of that room, that's when you want to attack, because when you have coke in a hotel, you can't let maids in the room.
Right.
So you always have to have somebody in there switching shifts, you know.
Would you ever have like an informant, like a maid, and you'd be like, tell me when this
I fucking wish I had that. I never had that.
You never had that?
No. Like an inside maid. And they have them. I know for a fact that some maids will say, hey. But then again, the maids get in trouble if somebody gets robbed. Like in Boulder, a guy had a fucking truck filled with weed one time. And I guess he took 8 of the pounds and put them under his bed, and the maid found them. Called the cops on the guy. That was really popular in Boulder. When I went to jail in Boulder County, like when they were holding me,
right,
10%, 20% of the people were in there were because of hotel mistakes.
Jesus.
Just people going to a hotel. The cops come to the hotel at night and do a background check on all the guests.
Really?
It's some weird shit. I've heard some weirdest shit.
Why not? Yeah, fuck it.
You know, and they've done stupid shit. They've done stupid shit like that. You know, I've heard maids come back and smell weed. Why think I don't smoke in my fucking hotel rooms? I don't give a fuck. I'm not smoking in my fucking hotel room. I don't care if people do it all the time. It's like robbing a car. Once they come in, you're guilty. I smell the pot in your room.
Right.
That gives them the right to search my room. What if I'm in Atlanta? There's no fucking legal weed there.
Right, yeah.
Any of these
Why
states,
risk
there's
it?
no legal weed. I smoke a joint and I go for a fucking walk, man. And nobody gets their feelings hurt, you know? But you never know. You give them, you know, I heard of people with 20 pounds of coke in their trunk, smoking a joint in their car.
Jesus.
You get pulled over, you smell the weed, I'm going to open up your fucking trunk. You know, all these little things that cops look for, anybody looks for. These are just basic minor league mistakes.
Do you have more common sense, or did you make these mistakes?
I watch people to make those mistakes.
Oh, okay.
You force people to make those mistakes. You force them into something they won't do.
Okay.
I watched that movie Focus on the plane. I watched 2 movies on the plane on the way to Atlanta. The first one was that Sean Penn going to Beirut or something. Horrid. Him and the guy that won the Oscar for The one who's married to the chick, I don't fucking know, from that movie with, who the fuck knows?
I'm not sure.
The Spanish dude. Who's the
Antonio Banderas?
No, the other dude that came after him that was in.
I'll
He's
look it up.
married to Penelope Cruz.
Oh, I'll look it up.
That fucking dude, real good looking dude. So Sean Penn does a movie with him. That movie was a fucking sleeping pill. But then there was a movie called Focus or something with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and some hot little blonde chick.
Okay.
And the movie's all about scamming people. About
Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem, how to scam people. And the main scam is this Chinese guy that's a professional gambler. And they scam him at the Super Bowl because him and her are betting numbers on the jersey. All right, who scores first? What's he going to do next? And they pull the scam
Okay.
where the guy goes, I want to bet with you guys. They gamble loud enough to suck the guy in. And they just keep betting. They get it up to like $4 million, and Will Smith is going to lose, and the chick doesn't want him to lose because it's money they scammed from all these. It's when a big event happens in a town,
Right.
how a team of people come into that town to pickpocket. You know, that's why I hate those big events. It's a sucker's paradise. That's when maids give information. That's when maids are like, fuck yeah. Joey Diaz and this fucking other guy in this room, I could smell the fucking coke in there. You know, I'm not stupid. I see the alcohol.
Yeah.
I see the fucking residue on the fucking glass tables. So this is what happens when there's a Super Bowl, Indy 500, a big event comes to your town. Oh, not only does your town get infested with hookers, but your town gets infested with small-time crooks like I was.
Really? Like there's like traveling crooks?
Traveling crooks.
No way.
And all they do is run games. They fucking pickpocket you. And these people were very high tech. They would pickpocket you, use the cards, take the cash, and then buy products with those cards and put them on eBay. That's brilliant. That is fucking brilliant. That's why you get great deals on eBay.
Oh, that's smart as fuck.
That's fucking smart as fuck. People got a brand new computer for $300. Remember what I told you? I go to your house and say, "What do you want?" I want a $500 computer. I'm gonna be back in an hour. I want $250 cash.
I'm not sure. I can't prove it, but I think there's someone in a post office around here with a card scanner. Because twice from Bank of America, I've got a credit card, and before I even activated it, I get a call. Are you spending $500 at Macy's? This much here, and it's.
This
There
area
must be a ton
here,
of people doing it.
This area here, you're crazy to put your card in anything. In anything.
Yeah, Jesus.
Whether it's this is Russianville. This is Russianville. This is up here. You go to Glendale, your card's gonna get stolen. You go to Las Vegas, your card's gonna get stolen. There's people. They put like that guy in that movie, in that fucking thing. They showed him taking a whole ATM machine out of the wall. That was fake.
No way. I worked in retail for like 5 or 6 years, including restaurants and stores, and I never really saw any of that.
So those waitresses, when they come to you and they say, "You want a drink? Yeah, let me run a tab." There's a guy sitting there with one of those machines, and she goes up to him with the card. He takes the card, swipes it. When she walks back, he puts your card on the table. So they already got your fucking numbers.
Right.
That's when the waitresses are in on it.
Hell yeah.
But they got everything on camera.
Now,
See in
yeah.
Las Vegas. So once you call that in, if a bunch of them appear, they're gonna look through the fucking film. And those people who are looking for gambling people, they see those type of scams too. So it's tough to be a fucking criminal today. It's
think
gotta
so?
be. Oh, please, because everybody's got a camera. Look at what happened in whatever with that pot store. They had visible cameras. The pot store that they broke into and the cops were eating the brownies.
Oh, yeah.
Where the fucking cop department's still saying that those guys weren't eating brownies, but they're on tape eating brownies, and there's more tapes.
Jesus.
That's what they don't know. There's more tapes in the back when they were robbing their fucking pockets. The people had cameras on the safes, cameras on the floor safe. They had cameras everywhere. There's even more cameras. So yeah, people. Listen, if I had fucking money in my house, $200,000 and a half a kilo in my house, I'd have cameras that you'd see, and I'd have cameras that you wouldn't see. That'd be the smart thing.
Yeah, you have to.
Let them take down the cameras and giggle. We got this, and you still got 2 more fucking cameras pointed at your loot, pointed at your door.
Microphone.
Microphone.
You can have everything now.
If you got the money, you can have everything now.
Yeah.
You could watch your house while you're out of the house. Can you not? Doesn't
Absolutely.
Red Band has something that
They sell it for like $100 now, like a web nanny cam, or even now they have like actual security cameras that you can do it. But it's it's crazy. Do you think now if you were to be born when I was born, let's say, and how many cameras and computers they have now, do you think you still would have been a criminal, or do you think something else would have happened?
No, because everything you do, they got you on a fucking tape. I mean, you live on a fucking tape.
Right.
Whether I'm at the airport, whether I get out of a cab. You know, when you go to the airport and you park your car, you don't think you're being watched?
I don't think
you park your car, why wouldn't you?
I don't think I think. I just don't think about it. I know.
Yeah, if you're the NSA, if you're who's ever watching airports, I'm taking a bomb out of my fucking trunk and put it in my luggage or whatever the fuck I'm gonna do. I'm watching that parking lot.
Yeah.
I'm watching a mile outside the parking lot. As soon as I make that right onto Century Boulevard,
Okay.
I got a camera right there if I'm the NSA.
They have
'Cause there could
cameras
be-
everywhere, though,
There
I
could be
think.
a fucking truck. I just went to scratch my balls, and my balls were hanging out because I ripped my pants all the way down the middle. Today was not, I don't have a wardrobe day today. As I was leaving, I went to pour the iced tea, and the Mercy put the lid on it and didn't tighten it, so it went all over my shirt. And then I got in the car, and my something got hooked on the door hinge, and I ripped my pants right across the middle. But you know me, I didn't give a fuck. I went to the bank, I took out $50. I went to the weed store, whipped my dick out. Nobody caught
No
it.
underwear?
No underwear. Why would I
Why?
wear underwear? It's 88 degrees.
Does Mercy laugh when you make mistakes like that? When you spill juice on yourself?
She didn't see it. She was in the other room. And nobody saw it. Just me like an asshole.
I had a problem when I was young. If I was uncomfortable with something, like if something made me feel awkward, I would laugh. So if someone fell, I would laugh. So like, I didn't know if Mercy.
That's why I laugh at you when you're fucking all stone drooling like a momo over here. Someone had Joey Fillato call up. I haven't had him in a while. It's nice when we have people call up to break up the monotony. Wednesday is our 300th fucking episode.
That's crazy.
300 fucking episodes of a podcast. Who the hell does this craziness? Rogan's got 600, doesn't he?
Yeah, at least.
669 or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's what you were. Yeah.
600 episodes. I thought about afterwards. 600 fucking episodes.
What is Adam Carolla up to? He must be up to like thousands.
Thousands. Mark Maron, thousands.
Yeah, it's amazing. Someone said something. I think it was Leon on Twitter said like the original churches were great but chaotic, and like I haven't even listened to them, but like they must have been. Remember when we used to do football picks and they were always
losers.
wrong? Every pick we ever had was a loser. We just gave up on it.
Well, when I started the podcast, I wanted to have people on that I had grown up with just to show the state of mind that I grew up in so people knew where the fuck I was coming from.
Right.
I thought it would simplify matters. I thought people would listen and go, this isn't for me or this is for me. And we had some wild times on the podcast. We had some wild times in the fucking apartment. But if you listen to the podcast, you can see how much you've grown. We've grown as people. We've grown as human beings. Even the people that come up to me now and go, I've been there since Beauty and the Beast.
Wow.
You wouldn't still be here if you didn't hear something. So I appreciate that you're still fucking listening after 300 goddamn episodes. I mean, who else talks about drug rips? And I want to talk about this shit, you know. That day when we were talking about it, my heart was beating.
Really?
Oh, just thinking about what it's like to get up in the morning, have no money in the bank. A bank account was the farthest thing from my mind. If I didn't have it in my pocket in those days, I didn't have it, Lee. I would say to myself, when am I going to open a bank account? I'm going to be in there 2 days later taking the money out. There was no savings in my life back then. You lived by hustling, you know, and that's what you wanted. You wanted to bump into somebody that said, psst, come here. I'm selling some coke now. The cocaine business in the early 80s, mid 80s, is like the podcasting business now. Nobody really knows. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Every day this fucking changes. Now you got Periscope. So when people that sold coke didn't just start selling coke, they sold weed before the cocaine.
Okay.
And they figure, why am I selling 2 pounds of weed when I could sell an ounce of coke and make the same fucking do-re-mi? You follow me? Instead of selling this much, I'm going to sell this much. So they had an idea, but also nobody breaks into your house for a pound of weed. People will break into your house for an ounce of coke. People will set you up in weird ways for 4 ounces of coke. You know, the way the cops send you, you know, for a cop to, somebody's calling?
Not yet.
For a cop to really get you, they have to make multiple buys of 2 ounces or more.
Okay.
All right, 2 ounces is a standard. They're not going to bust you the first 2 ounces.
Well, isn't that a lot? Because didn't you usually buy it by grams? So if it's 2 ounces, that seems like a lot to buy.
But
from
so
someone.
how the cops set you up
Okay.
is they buy a gram, an 8-ball, 2 ounces.
Oh.
Okay, they come to you and they say the coke you have is tremendous. Now I want to buy 2 ounces. Once they go for that 56 grand, that's how they fucking get you to roll.
Oh, okay.
You know, anybody could do a fucking year for a gram of blow. You know, it's distribution. You were distributing. You look at this fucking guy. He got a DUI. What did he do a week later? He went into a rehab. That's what you do when you get.
Yeah.
He took a week. He took a week too long. So when you get busted for selling a gram of coke and it's your first offense, you could beat this with a good background and if you do some work. What do I mean by beat it? You could do 60 days in a rehab and 3 years probation. They're going to test you, but you're not going to go to jail.
Right.
That's beaten. That's okay. You know, if you sold, cops aren't going to get you for a grand because they don't. A year, you could do it standing on your head. They're gonna scare you and say you should roll. You don't fucking roll for a grand. They're gonna get you to roll for 2 ounces. That's when you do 6 or 7 years.
Have you listened to the podcast Serial?
No.
I won't spoil it for anyone, but it's about a guy who was convicted of murder and they're saying might not have done it. And one of the things that is talked about in the case is that the main witness might have been coached by the police, or like threatened, like, we'll charge you with this unless you say what we want. Did you ever have any dealings like that, like where they were like?
No, but if a cop wants to make a conviction, bad enough they'll do dumb shit.
Yeah.
You know what happened with Hurricane Carter, the boxer, and there's been thousands of arrests where they're wrong arrests, you know. But if a cop really wants it,
or they're being pressured, that
listen,
could be it too.
I believe a lot of shit, and I don't believe a lot of shit because I've done time.
Right.
And you've never been somebody who's done time that's guilty. Nobody's guilty.
Right.
They all got set up. It was their uncle's fault. Nobody ever is guilty, okay? But the cops will fucking, you know, they could darken something up, man. They have all the power. They have all the fucking power to darken something up. If it really didn't happen, eventually you'll beat it. You know, all these guys are getting out of jail now. 20 years later, 25 years later. I mean, you can't get your life back. What you could do is sue them for $20 million, get 3, and get your dick sucked for the 10 years you do have left in this world. You know, after you do 25 fucking years. I can't imagine being in prison wrongly. But I could see it because where there's smoke, there's fire.
Right.
You know, listen, Lee, if you're here with me today for 2 hours,
Okay.
and a little Jew shoots somebody at Subway Sandwich on fucking Laurel Canyon, and 10 people say it's you, and I say you're here with me, okay?
Right.
What do you think's gonna happen?
Probably 10 against 1, right?
I mean, and now they're gonna break my credibility, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're on microphone and people are watching you on Ustream and you have 1,000 people.
Well, that's the issue. The trial was from 99 before they had any of that shit. Now, hopefully, it's going to happen a lot less. But that is crazy how that happens. I talked to Paula about that because she wants to be a DA, and she was kind of freaking out about it. Like how it's a lot of pressure to maybe put someone in who's not guilty.
Well, listen, after a few years, you see things for what they are. You know, you have a radar, and we're all compassionate at first. You're all very compassionate. But once you've been a cop for 5, 6 years, once you've been a DA for 5, 6 years, and you see the horrible things that life really has to offer that most individuals in this life do not see or hear.
And they probably get cynical.
Yeah, we hear shit now because it's on the internet. We hear about that lady lighting her baby on fire in a microwave oven. You know, I mean, because it's on the internet and news is national now. 20 years ago, you didn't hear all those things. So cops dealt with it on a fucking local level.
Right.
You know, it wears on a cop to see that type of... So once you get jaded, or what's the word you used?
I forget.
Cynical.
Yeah, you go.
Cynical. You think to yourself that everybody's guilty.
Right.
Everybody, and you do this not just with that. We do this with when we're editors. We figure that every fucking company is robbing us.
Right.
When we're comedians, we're always on the look for, you know, you're always doing all these things, but watching your back.
Right.
Whereas a cop, I mean, anybody who comes in, there's always a good cop, bad cop, and there's always one cop that sucks you in, and the other cop saying you're a liar, and you gotta protect yourself. I mean, right now, God forbid tonight something happens, and something happens that somebody dies that's close to me.
Right.
And I was over there. They're gonna fucking call me in, and they're gonna fucking rend me, and say you were there. Listen, what happened? You got into an argument over a podcast, and you hit him in the head with a fucking thing of alpha brain, and you know they paint the picture, and now you got to fight yourself out. And if you say the wrong thing, you're put in a fucking cell, my friend. So if you're put in a fucking cell, here you are wrongly accused or whatever the fuck you got. I mean, I could see it. I'm very fortunate. I've been scared half my life because of that.
Right.
Of being wrongly accused for something. You could be driving. We could be leaving the podcast tonight at 6 o'clock at night, making a U-turn. A cop will pull us over and say, "Get out of the car. We just saw you at a bank heist over on 66 and Communipaw Avenue," and there you are.
Right.
There the fuck you are.
It's terrible. We got a call.
What?
We got a call.
Oh.
That's terrifying, though.
What's up, my brother?
What's up, Coco? What's going on, my man?
Nothing.
How you doing?
Long time. He's going to be in Vegas with us in September.
Oh,
My main
cool.
man, Joey fucking F. What's up, baby? How's the
Oh,
family?
yeah. Is that Lee Syatt?
What's
That's
up,
Lee
Joey?
Syatt. It's been a long time since you
Oh,
spoke
baby,
to the
you gonna be in
flying.
Vegas, too?
The
You gonna be in
flying Jew.
Vegas?
The flying Jew always goes to Vegas. He's a staple. It's like going to Vegas in the 50s and not
I
seeing
can't wait
Dean
to
Martin
meet
there.
the
You know what I'm
Flying
saying?
Jew.
And you don't know what?
Oh,
He's up to
Dean Martin.
five.
I can't wait to Martin Flying Jew.
He's up to 500 milligrams on edibles. He's shutting motherfuckers down.
Up to it doesn't really count if you puke all over your kitchen.
He fucking puked the tortellini because it's wholesale
Lee, I can't wait to
tortellini.
meet you, Lee.
I can't wait to meet you too, Joey.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, Coke, you know what? I got to call up. I got to call up on a landline because I really can't hear you too good.
All right,
I'm
well,
going to call you right back on a landline.
Take your time, but hurry up.
All right?
All right.
Bye-bye.
No, being wrongly accused has always scared the shit out of me.
Hell
You could be
yeah.
leaving somewhere at 2 in the morning, and somebody sees you, a blue shirt, you catch a beating, they take you to fucking... And half these people are, look at that guy and whatever, that they was wrongly accused, he was driving home, they beat the fuck out of him. And he got like $3 million from the fucking city of Los Angeles.
Really, Jesus.
The reason the city of Los Angeles is broke is because they pay out all those lawsuits. Go ahead.
Oh, sure.
What's up, Joey?
Not much, baby. For all those listeners out there, Joey Bag of Donuts is back.
Oh, shit.
Jumping Joe Fillato.
Oh, shit. Joey, about 6
Oh,
weeks
shit.
ago, we were here, and I was talking to somebody, and we started getting into the story about drug rips, how in the 80s, nobody really knew what was going on, and people were pot dealers, and then we came along, and it was like, I had only done 2 of them where we played cops and that type of shit. Everything else I did was some guy who fucking beat us on 3/4 of a gram. We got pissed. We broke in his house and robbed him for an ounce and a half, which to us in those days was $1 million fucking dollars.
Sure, definitely.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, in my career, I did a lot of that shit. I did something with a couple of guys that you probably know. His name is Big Lou.
Okay, he's going to call in later.
Oh my God, he was the man with that cokes. I mean, all we did is we had this guy in New York City. We had this black guy that it was like a Patterson cop, and he would go around and he just fucking sit on like 179th Street in Amsterdam and just look for people. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden we get a phone call. It would be me, Big Lou, and Danny. Those are the ones that would do it. You know. And we did it for a while. We had teams, man. We had teams. If Big Lou comes in, right? Ask him about Fosco. There was this, you know, on 178th and St. Nicholas.
Right when you come off the bridge, you make that right turn. Before the bridge?
Right there.
Afterward?
Right there, after the bridge. Right
After
there,
the
yep.
bridge.
It's a 34th precinct. And we took this guy one time, man. We got in a van. We threw him in a van. We locked him up, we handcuffed him, and we drove him around for like 2 hours trying to beat the shit out of him, beating him up, trying to get his keys to his house. He wouldn't give us the keys. Finally, he gave us the keys to his house. We go into his house, he got nothing there. So Big Lou tells him, listen, and I don't know if you ever met Big Lou. Big Lou is 6'6", 300 pounds. He's very, very scary. Big Lou told him, say, listen, man, you know we're not the cops, so it's either you, money, or your body. What he said, the guy all of a sudden made a phone call. We were standing cokes right out on 178, right out in front of the police station. He makes a phone call to this guy. Now it's me, Lou, and this guy Fosco. I got a 9mm in my bag, in my pocket, and Lou's got a badge on with a shirt over it and a hat. So now he thinks first he thought we were cops. So all of a sudden this guy pulls up, and all of a sudden he starts saying something in Spanish. All of a sudden Fosco gets in the car. The other guy gets out of the car. He goes, hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Now we got this guy. We're holding him for ransom. You know. So we're talking. All of a sudden, 20 minutes later, he comes back with a bag, a brown bag, with $10,000 in cash and a kilo, and he gives it to us. All of a sudden, we let the guy go. We jump in one of those gypsy cabs, and boom, we go right over to his house in Palisade Park. That was a great score of us, man. Oh my God, there's so many of them I could tell you about.
How old were you,
50 of them,
Joey?
man.
Was this like high school?
Excuse me?
Was this like high school or later?
Well, this is a little bit later, Lee. This is probably about when I was 20, 21 years old. You know, that was our job.
That was our job.
You know, I mean, and we would just live by score by score. You know, I mean, we had one time we had no money, and all of a sudden Danny was like, well, I can do somebody out in California who's got a lot of weed. We're like, okay, let's do it. So all of a sudden we start planning this caper, and we go to Lou's house, and we're figuring out things. And Lou's father was a career criminal too. He's like, you guys are fucking crazy. How are you going to get the hardware on the plane? And hardware meaning the guns and stuff like that. So we were like, we don't know. So all of a sudden we go out to California, and we're going to meet. Can I say his name, J-Mo?
Yeah.
I can say it. I already said it. It's over. You know, we meet him. All of a sudden, we meet him one day. Danny goes meets him. We come back the next day. We go to a gun store, and we get pellet guns, Coco. We get pellet guns. All of a sudden now we go get $2,000 in cash, and we put it all in singles, and we put $100 bills on the outside. So it looks like we got a lot of money. Danny calls up J-Mo. He meets us at the hotel. Now, Danny is setting up J-Mo. So all of a sudden, he comes into the hotel. I'm standing in the closet, and you know the vents in the closet. You can see out the door.
Yeah.
And Lou's on the balcony. All of a sudden, he comes walking through the door. I jump out with my pellet gun, but I have it up in the air because I don't want him to see the front of it because the hole was small. All of a sudden, I said, freeze, you're under arrest. All of a sudden, Lou came off the balcony, grabbed him, threw Danny and the other guy on the floor, and I'm like, oh, my God, there it is, Lou. I opened up the bag. It was 62 pounds of weed in one big giant, like 2 bags he had. We grabbed him. We handcuffed him to the sink. We threw the keys there, and we left them both there, and we just bolted out of there. Some of the shit we did with Lou was fucking crazy, man. Crazy with that big guy.
Oh, my God. I remember handcuffing a guy, and I was never so scared in my life, Joey Fillato. By the time I handcuffed Vela, I was pretty
Excuse
good.
me?
By the time I handcuffed the guy I went to jail for kidnapping, I wasn't scared.
Yeah.
But before that, I had handcuffed 2 guys, and I was shitting my fucking pants off.
Oh, man, I mean,
Shitting
it's all we
my
did.
pants
It's
off.
all
Oh,
we
my
did
God.
for like maybe 5 years straight. We would just, live score to score. So all of a sudden, it would run out. All of a sudden, boom, we'd wait for a phone call from this guy, Al, and all of a sudden, every couple of months, we would go over there and take down the drug dealers. I know a couple of guys had, you remember, he went to jail. His name is Dave, forgot his last name. Yeah. He went to jail for killing somebody. They kidnapped him. They stuck staples in his head. They killed him. Him and Anthony Caselli. Everybody had their own teams and stuff, but thank God I never got caught. And Lou did a lot of them. Lou had a really big one time, man. He could tell you some of them that are unbelievable. That's how I met him, though. Doing that kind of stuff. He was a professional boxer too, Lou. Wait till he tells you some of those stories.
You graduated in 85. I graduated in 82, and I was always a year older. When my mother died in 80, my mother was in that world. They were coming to the house. The first time I did blow with lubes, I stole it from 10 kilos that were in my basement. I didn't even know what they were worth. And I would just take coke and give it to my friends. I didn't know what the fuck it was.
Yeah.
But after my mom died, I kept in contact with those people. And these people were serious fucking Cubans, and they would come up from Miami, call me and say they're in town, they want to see me, for me to give them money. And then they'd introduce me to their friend in Union City, and 9 out of 10, I'd rob that guy. And in those days, I was climbing roofs. I was doing the sickest shit. I mean, it was natural for me, Joey.
Oh, it was natural. That's all it was. I remember. I remember Rago used to tell me all the shit you were doing.
My God, he was the only guy I was honest with. I was a piece of shit. But if you fuck Joey, in those days, if you fucked with me in North Bergen, and there was a lot of people in those days that thought they were cute, and I was down, and they'd fucking I could give you 5 names of people that thought they were cute with me, and at the end of the day, I fucking clipped them. And they knew I did it, and they couldn't do a fucking thing about it. And it was so funny. And then I realized I could clip people all around. And I was catching people sleeping. I caught so many people.
We did awesome with it for years. I didn't work for years. That's all we did. Because in New York City, Jersey, it's so easy. You go right across the bridge, and then we had this black guy. When you ask Lou about Al, He was black, and he was a Patterson cop. So it was actually so great. He used to stand right on the corner, and he could stand with these, those the Moulignans and all the Dominicans and stuff like that over there, and they wouldn't even know he was there. All of a sudden, a couple of days later, we get a phone call. All right, it's on. Meet me over here on 160th and St. Nicholas. All right, here we go. We're going to work. It was crazy at that time though. And then one time we almost got the FBI fucking called us, and Louis got caught with the FBI, and all of a sudden this and that. And, oh my God, it was a big fucking ordeal. I had to go in front of the FBI, 100 Center Street. Jack Campanella, his name was. Oh my God, I'll never forget that. Fuck, man,
From
it was
80
crazy.
to
Thank God,
90, I must have robbed 200 drug dealers, Joey. And there's so many that just did little fuck ups. Like when I went to Colorado, I took my New Jersey technology mind. I was a New Jersey criminal in North Bergen where people see you coming a mile away. You understand me? I grew up in a society.
They don't see you in Colorado.
They don't see you in Colorado. In New Jersey, they see the setup. They're like, why has this kid been coming over here too much? They know. He used to buy grams, now he's buying 8 balls. Where's he getting the money from? People have ears. So I went from fucking New Jersey where they saw you coming to Colorado where they didn't even suspect it. And I was shutting their fucking lights out. I was shoveling snow, robbing. You know what I was doing, Joey? I knew drug dealers had coke in the house. Let's say I go in there and they have 4 ounces. I take two 8 balls. And I kept them on a string. Nice. And then I kept them on a string. And then what I would do is when I get ready to rob them, I wait till they get a big ship, and then I'd fucking take them down. But for a month, I'd take them for an 8 ball a day, like nothing. They'd be skiing. Who the fuck skis?
That was good money back then. That'd be good.
Yeah. But this is what I tell people. It's like I was talking about Periscope this morning with this fucking Comic-Con. We got fucking ISIS cutting people's heads off, and you're in San Diego dressed up like Batman, like a jerk-off. Those, you know what I'm saying? Like a fucking jerk-off that you are, half these fucking momos. Star Trek, look at me. Like a fucking, but meanwhile, those are the people I'd prey on, those fucking jerk-offs, because they're too busy. Listen, drug dealers don't do that. You know what drug dealers do? They sell drugs. They don't watch TV.
That's
drug dealers.
They're the best people to rob. They can't go to the cops.
They can't go to the cops. You know what I'm saying?
They couldn't go to the cops.
When a drug dealer would tell me he was going to Disneyland or going skiing, and I'd ask him, how many times a day do you ski? I ski every week on Wednesdays. Bingo. This motherfucker's going down eventually.
On Wednesdays, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they tell you, I go skiing on Wednesday if you party out. Really?
Even as a criminal, you didn't take vacations?
Criminals don't.
You never take vacations.
Listen, if I went on a vacation, I'd rob people. Listen, San Francisco, I caused so much havoc in a hotel in San Francisco because I used to rob the maids' keys. The maids in those days would leave the keys in the door, and they clean. So I'd watch them, and I'd take the fucking key. And it was over after that. I had 2 or 3 days. There was a bookmaker I robbed in San Francisco in the hotel. He couldn't figure out who was robbing him. He'd come to me and go, somebody keeps fucking robbing me. He was one of those dollar guys that sold those tickets. He'd have $300. I'd take every fucking single plus all the slips from him and fuck his world up. He'd be sitting there in the lobby going, somebody fucking robbed me again in the building that fucking spick made. And it was me the whole time. I'd beat the fucking burrito. Yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I could see a drug dealer a mile away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's how it was over by us. Everybody had their own teams, and we were doing it from like maybe 88 to 92. Easy, every fucking week doing it. Danny knows a lot, too. It was me, Danny, and Louie. That was the team. And then we had this guy, Al.
You guys got so good you started robbing each other. Yeah. You motherfuckers started robbing each other. You made Russo and Kurt go down to Florida. These guys started robbing each other. One of the greatest quotes I ever heard in my life was July or something of 99. I took Darren to breakfast, and in the middle of his food, I looked at him and I go, you still get into fights? He goes, there's nobody left to fight. I got to fight my friends now. He goes, I got nobody left to fight. I got to fight my friends. That's how I got with these guys. They had nobody left to rob, so they started robbing each other. So there was these 2 cliques in North Bergen. First, they started together, Russo and this Danny Bianculo. They were the fucking hottest drug team since fucking Abbott and Costello. They were buying trucks and look, you think I'm kidding you? They were moving. They were like what do you call it? Crockett and Tubbs. That's my God. Every time I went back to bring them guns, they had fucking trucks and ski jeets. What are those things you ski with? Jet skis.
Jet skis.
And the fucking guy
had all the toys.
All the toys. And the motorcycles. These guys were making big money. Then one time I heard they're broken up. Tommy tried to rob the other guy. Then they went at war for each other. Then they couldn't get coke. One went to Miami. Who'd they rob? They robbed Kurt.
Kurt in Miami, right?
They robbed Kurt in Miami. Who the fuck? They went all the way down there to get robbed. 2 sets of my.
Well, look at Danny. Danny, we robbed his cousin. We robbed his cousin J-Mo. It was fucking like 60-something pounds of weed we had to take. And then it was funny, we got it, and then also we had to drive it all the way down to Los, because we were someplace in Diamond Bar, California. All of a sudden we had to drive up to Los Angeles. Then we had to ship it back in the mail, and we shipped it to someplace in Patterson. Oh my God, it was. But J-Mo was calling Danny for months, because he knew he set him up. He knew he set him up, and that was it. But he had to rob. We were so down and out, we had to rob his cousin. That's what we had to do. Oh man, but that was a time. Thank God I'm on the lam though now. Now I'm hiding out.
No, thank God.
Nobody knows where I am.
Listen, man, every month I get a nervous breakdown. I do a podcast with Lee. I got to tell you, Joey, I do a podcast with Lee, and I eat an edible, and for some reason I go home and I smoke some pot and I make some coffee, and my fucking mind starts to race at 11:30.
Oh,
and Joey,
yeah.
I can't lie to you, Joey. Sometimes I get tears in my eyes, and I say, I can't believe I survived that situation, or going to West New York.
My God,
I went to West New York one night.
Wait till I see Lee. The situation, Lee, that we lived in, man. It's you guys live in Disney World compared to what we lived in.
It sounds like North Bergen was on like an Indian burial ground or something. Like,
I remember one night, Dave Black's sister was fucking a Colombian drug dealer, the hot one. She was just giving him pussy for coke. Giving him, and Dave knew it.
Yeah,
Dave's like, my sister's just basically giving him pussy for coke. She's hot, and she knows it, and she just goes over there, gives him pussy. He throws like an ounce of blow once a week. And we went over there and robbed him while he was fucking the sister. That's how cold-blooded we were. With guns and the whole thing.
Wow.
And the sister was on all fours, sucking his dick. I mean, it was horrible. And we're robbing a guy, and she's sucking his dick. I mean, you can't write this shit.
Do you at least save some for her?
No.
You cannot write this shit.
No way.
And he got caught climbing out the window, so the drug dealer had him by the hair. Thank God whoever the fuck was driving kept the car running. I mean, it was just, this is shit that I sit there sometimes.
Yeah, that's a way of life over by us. You know, that was it. I mean, you go right into Manhattan. I mean, go to Washington Heights and rob somebody and just get out of there. We do it on a Friday night. All of a sudden, boom, you need some money, you go make a score, come back, and we went to Quintessence.
The one I did in '93 was with your cousin, God bless his soul.
Didn't you guys rob the gas station with the water guns?
We robbed the gas station with the water guns. We never had to pull them.
What?
And then we robbed all the stereos from Sears, the car stereos, every fucking Blaupunk they had.
Did you put the one in for their senior prom? You robbed the Alpine. You put it in Russo's car before that. I never forget it. You came out of the fucking, what was it? I think 2 guys down there, or Kmart. You had the Alpine in the box with the speakers and everything. You took it right out of your pants.
Lee, that's how you started the day. We need cash. How are we going to make some cash? Let's go get some car stereos brand new in a box. And we walk in the store like a team, and each of us would get one. So that's 3 $200 stereos. We're gonna get 300. That's an 8-ball. That's $250 and $10 a piece.
How would you get them?
And back in 1982, it was a lot of money.
That was a
lot of money.
An 8-ball was $250 on 135th in Amsterdam. Our goal was to go over there every day for an 8-ball. So you had to come up with $250. $250 quickly. Some days I get a call from somebody going, "Dog, you got a toolkit for sale? I heard. Can you get me the one at Sears?"
But how did you turn the stereos into money?
It's a car stereo, Lee. I come to your house and I go, "Lee, not for nothing. I sat in your Volkswagen the other day and the stereo sounded like shit. I got a Blaupunk for sale. It's $300 new. Give me $150 cash." And you'd say, "Fuck yeah, for $300?" Or those speakers. We used to get the speakers. That's how you got your day started. So once you got, so now that $250 for the 8-ball, that was an investment. You took that $250, you threw $1,000 on that. Now you sold 3 of those and you got $300, plus you got a $50,000 for me and Joey, and we ran with from there. And then there was some guy who wanted an 8-ball. So now we take an 8-ball, take $1.50 out, throw $1.50 of cut in that motherfucker and give that to him. We just made $1.50 of pure. Now we got $1.50 of pure. We're gonna throw another half on it and get 200 out of. So you know what? In a day, we each ended up with 150 cash, and we got to snort an 8-ball. That was your goal. Yeah. That was our mentality.
And Rigo loved that. Rigo loved doing that shit, man.
I loved it. He loved it. I remember one time me and him robbed this fucking dude that was a cunt, and he thought he was cute, and we went to his house, and he had checks. And in those days, our boy Dick Willems was at the fucking bank. And I used to steal
Oh,
the
he was-
checks and bring them right to the bam. They could have Jesus Christ on a crutch on those motherfuckers.
He cashed him, right?
And my boy
He was
would
down at
fucking
that car lot
cash 'em.
down there.
Fuck yeah, the car lot, the bank. I remember when the dude from
Yeah.
Joe and Mary's used to write checks, the loan shark, and we'd take him to the fucking bank on 70th Street while the check's getting cashed. You're next door at Gilberto's getting a Cuban sandwich and a batito de mame. Are you fucking kidding me or what, dog? Your whole day surrounded around making money for food, but the payoff was drugs, and we keep investing the money. So every
That's it.
time you
That's it.
went,
Yep.
every time you went to the city, you went with somebody else's money, Lee.
How much were the drugs worth that you snorted throughout the day? Because like 150 to go to jail that many times doesn't seem worth it.
What do you mean? We're not going to
Nah,
jail.
Well, but I'm saying
It
like
wasn't going to jail. It
We're
was
not
just
going to
the
jail.
excitement of robbing the 150 in the 8-ball
But
until
it's
you got a bigger
possibility.
score.
I remember,
You know?
I remember talking to your
150.
cousin one night. I had gone to buy drugs downtown in Northburg, and some guy set up. He was a cowboy, right next to by Kathy Moran. Do you know that block we were just talking about
Yeah,
where Mike Denny
yeah,
lived in
yep.
the Rayos? Some white
Yep.
kid, some white kid.
I remember Kathy Moran.
Some white kid started selling coke, and I remember that I went down there on a Tuesday with somebody and bought the coke. And on the way out, I said, "That's interesting. That window. I could climb in that fucking window." And as I was talking to the guy, he was telling me that he had a day job. That he gets home at 5. This is the best coke. He was getting it from Cubans. This is 1981, Joey. I'll never forget this.
What a
Joey.
mistake that was,
And
telling you
I-
had a day job.
And I was in the bar with your cousin on Thursday night, just talking to Darren. He had the icebox. And just out of
Yeah,
curiosity,
the icebox. You remember that icebox?
I said, Darren, do me a favor. Pick me up at 9. We're going to rob this. I was lying to him. Guys, I swear to my mother, I was lying to him. I had nowhere to rob. I was just getting him to pick me up because we were going to rob somebody. And I'll never forget, I was sleeping on Ronnie's floor. In those days, I used to sleep on Ronnie's floor. They were my adopted family, and he knocked on the glass. Go, get up. Let's go make some money. And I went upstairs, brushed my teeth, washed my face, took a quick shower, ran outside. And this guy's staying. That's how we lived, Lee. It was a Friday morning.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Listen, all week was bullshit. Monday through Thursday was bullshit. I could always borrow a 20 from Lee and a 20 from Joey. I could always put it together. But Friday was D-Day. Everybody wants their money, plus you got to have your money. You want to get your dick sucked, you want to do blow, you want to eat Quaaludes, you got to pay
Everybody
the
was
fucking
eating
pipe.
blow and Quaaludes back then.
Everybody was doing this shit. So what did I do?
Yep.
I tell your cousin, let's go down to this guy. We went down by Gibbonhead Terrace where I grew up. I parked, and I basically walked I never forgot. Like I get goosebumps. And I walked,
my God,
walked
just
in
thinking
front of
about
his
that
house.
shit, right?
I rang
Just
his
thinking about
doorbell. I rang his doorbell. Like I made believe like I didn't know that he was working. Nobody answered. I went around. I opened that window. Like I told you guys, it was wide open. It was the window into it because in those days you had a door that went to your doorway. That your door was open. I climbed through the window. And he left his door open. A fucking drug dealer. And I ran in. I opened up, and there was nothing. I went in the room where we walked out, and sure enough, there's a bag of blow in there that had been cut, and one that had been uncut. I took it, and on the way out, I saw, those German flasks?
Yeah, for beer.
Oh my
For
God.
beer, the big flasks.
Yeah, the big giant flask, those Steins.
At those days, I was a thief, guys. I was a
Sure.
thief. So a thief knows where people hide shit. And for some reason,
yeah.
all he had was blow at the house. I went in his drawers, all he had was blow. And as I'm walking out, something made me catch that German thing with the thing that you pop and it goes back.
Yeah.
And
It's a Stein. It's called a Stein, I think.
I went over to it, I took that thing out, and there was $800 bills. Now, right now, everybody's at home going, Joey, $800. You're a fucking petty thief. Yes, I was. But $800 in 1982 was
That was fucking
$2,400.
huge. That was huge.
I remember giving your
you
fucking
kidding me or
cousin
what?
$400. He was crying. Like in those days, your
he
cousin
was
had no money. He lived in
400 at the Midtown back then. That was huge.
His mother,
right?
Darren's mother had gotten divorced. Darren didn't have a dad. Darren lived with John and his mother. They didn't have any money.
Yep.
For Darren to have $10 was a lot. I gave him $400, and I gave him half of that bag of blow. We fucking went out. But that was how it was. It was all a hunch, Lee. Like by 12 o'clock, our day was done.
That's all it was, Lee.
We had blow. We had everything set for the weekend. And it got from that now we wanted more. Everybody wanted the kilo guy. Everybody wanted to break into somebody's house and find 4
to the big one.
kilos.
Everybody wanted the big score.
And fucking jewelry.
I got a couple of them with Louis, but Louis got a couple of big ones without me. He got a couple of 10-kilo ones one time, Louis. Let him tell his story ask him about the story about him and Al were following a guy, and all of a sudden the guy made a wrong turn and went up onto the bridge. All of a sudden they were behind him. The guy got nervous. He jumped out of the car, left it running on the bridge. Louis jumped in the car and went into New Jersey. He went back in the trunk. There was 10 kilos in the trunk, Cokes. 10 kilos. Ask him about it.
Well, the same story happened with me and your cousin when the guy pulled over on the West Side Highway.
He jumped out and he was so nervous because this guy Al used to have like an Impala, like a square Impala, look like a cop car with a light on it. And all of a sudden they were following him. The guy made a wrong turn, went up on the bridge, put it in park, and jumped over the fucking railing and jumped and went onto the Henry Hudson Parkway and took off. And Louis got into the car, jumped in, went right into Palisade Park, got 10 keys. I was sick. I wasn't there that day. I was sick.
The one time I got the big score in '93, that's where the guy pulled over. He didn't pull over on the bridge. He pulled over on Henry Hudson Highway going downtown.
Sure.
He was going downtown, and we stopped him. No, he stopped himself like by 135, and we noticed it, and we went and made a U-turn, and he was out of the fucking car already. He was out of the car. In those days, they were trained just to run. And I
didn't go with him I don't know why I didn't go with him that day. I had something to do. All of a sudden, they told me about it. I was sick missing the score like that. Back then, that was a lot of money. You remember Tommy had that one Spanish kid in New York that he got rid of all the stuff to. What's his name? Alex, I think his name was. His name was Alex. And I was like, oh my God, they were selling them for like maybe 15,000, 20,000 a key back then, real quick.
It was amazing how everybody was going to get robbed at one point. Like everybody I did business with, I knew I was going to rob them at one point in the game.
Yeah, I can.
Did you ever get robbed, Joey, as a drug dealer?
Yes.
Who? Me?
I did. I got robbed one time.
What happened?
Did you get robbed? Who
but
robbed you?
they clipped me for 7 grams. Nothing significant. Nothing like that. And I wrote it off to, you know me, dog. You know, a thief knows that things are going to go down. If you keep doing it,
of course,
they're going to go against you. You know, listen, man, I
happen.
robbed a lot of blow. I should be shot and hung for all the blow I robbed and snorted.
No, it's
if I would have been smart, I would have fucking sold it. I didn't sell.
Oh man,
lick of it.
That's what we did. We were trying to sell it and do it at the time back then. You know what I mean? So we had like 4 or 5 guys that were on a team, and we got some small ones, big ones once in a while, but nothing that was life changing. That we always thought, 100 keys, 100 pounds of weed or something. Never got that. But brother, it was fun at the time while it lasted.
He's gonna call
Thank God I didn't go to jail.
No, every fucking time I talk to you, man, I get sentimental. I think about your cousin. I think about
Oh man.
And even lubes. We used to get college kids. Oh my God, we'd sell them coke and then rob the coke back. Oh my God, that's a complete different fucking episode. I love you, Joey. He's gonna call in.
Hey, I love you, Lee. I'm gonna call back, but I'm gonna see you in Vegas, baby.
All right,
I'm definitely gonna call back, Coke.
Thank you so much. We're gonna eat 500 edibles, 500 milligrams a piece that night. Me, you, Lee, and your wife, and we're gonna go kill a fucking strawberry shortcake at the sports book.
I love it. Science.
Love
you guys.
Love you, brother.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Bye-bye.
It makes me shit my pants just thinking about the shit I used to do. I don't fuck around when I tell people that. Sometimes I feel so weird sitting in a room with Lee because I don't know if Lee really knew. Like, if you could look at a film of my life from 80 to 85, if anybody would even listen to me, it was such a fucking horrible education. I'm happy I did it. It made me the man I am today. Lee, this is some scary shit. And then I went to prison, and then I still dabbled till 94 in robbing, and I would only take calculated risks. I always knew, getting locked up makes you a better criminal because you learn different things, and I did, but I knew that if I would have kept on, bro, in Boulder, they were going to nail me again. It was just a matter of time. So I'm very
Do you ever get the urge now?
Never.
To go rob somebody?
Never, Lee.
Because it seemed like you were getting like super like you missed it. Not missed it, but like you got
Lee,
the adrenaline
when we
pumping.
talk sometimes, when you talk to give people a good story, you got to go there.
Yeah.
And when I go there, my heart beats and I get chills and I feel shitty about myself. But I like talking about it because it doesn't make me feel shitty about myself. Once I talk about it, once I write it out, that's when I feel really bad about myself, the things I did like that. But listen, man, like I said, it wasn't like I was going up to guys like you. These people dabbled in drugs. I dabbled in drugs. Everybody knows the fucking cost when you're dabbling in fucking drugs, man. Everybody knows. And if you don't know, how was your fucking schooling? You know, how was your fucking schooling?
So what happened when they got you?
No, it wasn't like that. I got robbed out of a hotel room one time like that. Nothing, no sit down, no, nothing.
Oh, okay.
No.
Nothing that exciting.
No, you just learn. You learn the steps, Lee. You know, you learn what to look for, what not to look for. I know who's coming with bad intentions. I know who doesn't have cash, you know. You just learn. You just learn these little fucking things, Lee.
That's fucked up.
But, you know, I did my time. I paid my dues. I think after I got out of prison, I think I did maybe 3 or 4 drug rips after that. And I never fucked around with it again, man. And I'm very happy I didn't, you know. I was telling these guys, I think it's time to carry a weapon. Things are getting bad. You know, there's a lot of, you know, last week in San Francisco was the shooting. Did they still have flowers out on the pier or anything? Did you go down there?
Yeah, I didn't see any, but do you mean like you want to carry like a pistol at all times?
Do you think that's what I want to do? I do not want to carry a pistol, but if, you know, random acts, the chick got shot in Hollywood, the chick got shot in San Francisco last week, you know, this could be one of us, this could be a podcast listener, this could be anybody, man. I get scared, Lee. Without the fucking edibles, I get fucking petrified.
It does seem to be happening a lot.
But yeah, and for us to be walking around with not leaving a piece, you're at a park with your daughter, somebody does something, I don't want to shoot nobody, Lee. But protecting yourself and shooting somebody is 2 different fucking worlds, man. Knowing you have the ability to protect yourself. Knowing, you know, I'm not confident in my fucking, I'm no fighter. I can't fly through the air. I'm not fucking Johnny Hick, what's his name? John Wick. You know, I'm not going to throw people through the fucking air. But, you know, sometimes I get scared, man. It's just a natural reaction.
Yeah, but
I have a wife and a daughter now.
just to play like devil's advocate, wouldn't you also be then scared, like, if a lot of people had guns around your wife and daughter? Like that's the only thing that scares me is if everyone's gonna start having fucking guns.
Lee,
I don't want to take anyone's
you
guns
tell
away.
me the truth as a man, and you're an educated guy with what you read in the papers and what you hear. You don't want some type of protection in your car or in your apartment. You're there with Paul or somebody breaks in, they want to do something, you tell them, yeah, I got the money, you put 2 fucking holes in them. I mean, what if, Lee?
You know what,
many
man?
things could happen. I don't advocate guns. I've told you for 20 years that they're the worst luck for me.
See, that's what I was gonna say. Like we were talking about it earlier. I don't know if I've always heard that guns attract guns, and yeah, it does get fucking scary, and more so I think probably when you have kids, because I was thinking like, how can you send your kid to a public school now and not be like a little bit worried? But I try to keep low key, and I guess I don't really think I want a gun.
Listen, man, God has a plan. Or is that, at least that's what they fucking tell you. Buddha, the Jew God, Hindu, they all have a plan, and we all have an expiration date.
Yeah.
You know, we all have and horrible things happen in this life. You know, and that's why I get bad thoughts just like everybody else, man. And you pray and you fall asleep or whatever the fuck it is.
I do get more protective, like if I'm with Paula.
Sure you do.
Like I'll
Sure you
like
do.
that.
You love her.
Yeah, so like
You love her.
I can
How
see
you not get
like
fucking protected?
before Mercy, would you have thought about wanting a gun with just you and Terry?
I mentioned it to Terry a few times. We live in an area that we're just 3 blocks away from life, brother.
Yeah.
We're a couple blocks away from life. And sometimes bad life goes into good life, and there's nothing you could fucking do. There's nothing you could do. But you know what, man? If you got robbed and you didn't have protection, and you got robbed and you did have protection, how would you feel? How would you feel? I mean, Lee, I don't want you I'm not going to give you a gun and you take it home and put it under your pillow. I mean that once a week you go with the Agostino and go to the range and shoot and get comfortable with the gun, and you get pretty good at it, and you clean it every 3 days so it doesn't jam up on you. And you're not a bad guy. You've never had a bad intention in your heart. But what if, Lee? What if we're at the Comedy Store one night? You ever think of that? We're at the Comedy Store and a shootout ensues, and I'm there with you, and I got to cover you, and I got no fucking gun? What would you do? What would you feel like that you didn't have? You know, just a little situation. I'm not saying I'm going to go buy a gun tomorrow morning, Lee Syatt. What I'm saying is that, I don't know, I get these thoughts from time to time, just like every fucking American does. Just like every fucking American does.
Every
And every
person.
Canadian does. You know, at one time something happens and it hits close to home. If you wake up tomorrow morning at 8 in the morning and somebody got robbed on Laurel Canyon in Ventura, how would you feel?
Yeah.
That they were going to eat at 9:15 at night. That could be you and Paula.
Yeah, it totally could.
Okay,
Now, and
Red Band got robbed, gunpoint.
I know. Yeah.
In Burbank, California, the home of Disney, where Disney pays for undercover cops and helicopters and fucking cameras on every block.
A black wizard came and
A black wizard came and robbed him. You know. Now, I'm not saying you pull the gun out and you play Charles Bronson in Death Wish.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that at least that fear. You know what it feels like to get robbed? Do you have any idea? When something goes down 2 blocks from you and you're seeing a gunfight, what your heart happens to your heart?
No.
And how fear takes over. It's a horrible fucking feeling. But I know if I got a fucking gun in my strap and that motherfucker comes 10 feet close to me or my daughter, I know I'm gonna fucking unload that thing. And I'm gonna catch with 1 bullet. I'm gonna tell my daughter and wife to fucking run. In Spanish, so the guy don't hear me. You follow me? I mean, listen, I'm just talking nonsense with you, but
I lived
seriously,
I lived in Israel for 6 months, and their solution to it is there's a lot more there's like the military everywhere, and I know people are getting upset like there's too much police everywhere and stuff like that. So I don't think they would go over here. But would that be
Where
like
were the
another
cops
solution?
when that girl got shot in Hollywood?
What girl?
Where were the girl that just got shot last week?
Oh,
The
yeah.
comedian's girlfriend. Where were the cops when that guy shot that girl? They're getting a bunch of steam right now in San Francisco over this.
Right, we got a call.
Go ahead. Lou.
What's up?
Oh, my God. We just got off the phone with Joey Fillato. Jesus fucking Christ. How you doing, Lou?
I'm doing all right, buddy. What about you?
Good. Did we ever cross paths?
Excuse me?
Did we ever cross paths? Do I remember you from
No,
some...
I don't think so, Joe.
I
don't
left
think
I
so.
left New Jersey in July of '85. This last week was my 30th anniversary. And by that time you guys
85,
was
85, I was in the camp.
okay. Yeah, so I didn't you were more friends with Darren and Joey and
I was
fucking-
more friends with Joey.
Joey and
Joey
Dan.
and I brought Danny in because Danny owed a bookmaker money, and the guy sent me over there to talk to him. I said, look, you guys are nice guys. You want me to, look, why don't you come with me on a few things, and you'll be able to make the money, give this guy his money, and get back on your feet. And they said, all right, let's go.
And the rest
So it
is
worked
fucking
out.
history. Yeah, it's the we were so crazy at that age with the blow and the fucking this and the that.
Oh, my God, it was fucking insane. It was like we had a license to do it. I mean, it was crazy. We didn't care. We used to call it Spender Tuesday. Because for some reason, my father introduced me to this DEA agent. And this guy was actually giving us the scores. He was bringing us scores. And we were doing them in there. And it always happened on a Tuesday for some reason. He would call me Monday night and say, get your boys, meet me over here. And we'd go. He'd give us search warrants. He'd hook us up with bulletproof vests that said DEA on the front, hats. We told us to wear jeans and a T-shirt and white sneakers. We looked like the DEA. I used to walk in there and I spoke a little Spanish, so I was able to help get over. And the people were flipping out; they couldn't believe it. I said, "Abajo, tú no quieres para Madrid, yo te voy a matar. ¿Tú entiendes, huh?" They were flipping out.
Where'd you grow up at?
Patterson and Wayne.
Jesus Christ.
Patterson and Wayne. I used to I went out with a girl from North Bergen. That's how I met Joey.
Oh my God. You think back of, I was telling the podcast and Lee how there's nights, I smoke pot and I sit there and I think about the times you could have got shot and how lucky, how lucky you really fucking are that a bullet didn't go off.
I got shot. I got shot.
Oh my God.
I was over there with the DEA agent, and he said to me, "Come on, we're going to get this guy." I go, "This guy knows us. 7 times we got him. He knows me. As soon as he sees me, he knows we're not cops. I'm going to get shot with this guy." He goes, "No, listen to me. I found the stash. I know where the guy is. Everything's good. We got this." So I'm in the truck sleeping in the van. It's 5:30 in the morning. He picked me up at a halfway house. I was still in the halfway house. I'm sitting there in the van, and I'm sleeping, and he goes, he's gone. And around the corner comes the guy. We used to call him Goldfinger because he had thick rings on every finger, a Jamaican kid with rings on every finger, and he had a Mr. T starter kit around his neck. So here comes Goldfinger around the corner. He looks in the van. He sees me, and he goes, "Oh, my God." He turns around, walks back around the corner. Now, I had one eye open, so I look at him, and I'm saying to myself, did he recognize me? No. Too far away. He didn't see me. Here he comes back around the corner with two guys on each side of him. They all got their hands in their shirts, and they start firing. They pull out guns and start firing at the van. I put the van in drive, I put the thing in drive, aimed it at them, jumped out, and I was running behind the van. I went to get to a tree, and my knee gave out. I got shot. I didn't even realize. I was behind the tree. I looked down at my knee. I said, "Oh, my God, I've been hit." My knee was blood. From the knee down, it was all blood. So I said, "What the hell am I going to do now?" So I hear him click, click, click. He ran out of ammo. So I come out from behind the tree with a gun. I go, "Get on the ground. Holy, it's DEA." The guy goes, "You ain't no fucking cop." And he got up and ran away. He goes, "You better get out of here." And I said, "Oh, my God, now I got to limp out of here." I started limping away. I hop over a fence, and behind this building, I see Harlem River Drive. So I start hopping my way down the Harlem River Drive. I fall down a few times because this hurts, and I keep rubbing my leg, and I keep rubbing my hair, get my hair out of my eyes, because I'm rubbing my leg, and I'm rubbing the hair. I got blood all over my face. I don't realize it because I'm alone. And the guy, the DEA agent my father told me was a killer. It's got the killer cop. He'll be there for you for everything. He jumped in a van and drove away. He left me there. So I'm coming down the hill. I get to Harlem River Drive. I hop over the fence, and I hear the cops coming. I hear the sirens coming. I go, "Uh-oh, I got to get rid of this gun and this badge." I throw it in the East River. I'm sitting down on a guardrail. And 2 minutes later, there was like 6 cops there. And they, "Get up, get over here." I go, "Maybe you're not looking real good. I've been shot. I got shot in the leg. I can't get over there." They pick me up, throw me in a squad car, and they take me to Harlem Hospital 2 blocks away. And I'm in the Harlem Hospital, and they're like, "Oh, my God, you got shot. They must have thought you were a cop." I go, "I don't know what happened. I was over here to rehab a building. I'm working for one of my father's friends who's buying buildings. We rehab them, and when we're done, he sells them, whatever, rents them." I go, "I was sitting in the van. The guy started firing at the van." He goes, "Oh, they thought you were a cop." Make a long story short, the cops, they brought me to a room. They stuck antibiotics in my leg, and then they patched me up. They gave me a sedative and sent me to my room. They sent me to a room, and I climbed off the bed. The cops were there. I made look like I was falling asleep. They were trying to question me. I fell asleep. I made believe I was falling asleep. They left. I crawled out of the bed, got in a wheelchair, rolled down the hallway. There was like 15 old ladies in line for the phone. I said, "Lady, please, I'm a police officer. I just got shot. I got to call my house. Let my wife know." "Oh, no problem." They let me right on the phone. I got on the phone. I called Joey. I said, "Joey, I'm in room 616. Get the van. Get Danny. Come get me." I went back to the room, jumped in the bed, closed my eyes. When I opened my eyes, there's Joey standing there. I go, "Okay, let's get out of here." And that was it.
Lou, that was like the hotbed. I had spent my summers. I'm a Cuban. I used to spend my summers on 148th and Broadway. My stepfather shot a dude with Santeria guys and shit. But I became friends with the Cedeno family. And they had 9 Puerto Rican kids, and they had 9 kids. And the one that was my age, I had kept in touch with him through the years from the time we were 6 to 18. But I saw him once. I went over there to cop. And, that was for people who don't know, in the 80s and the 90s, I think it started like I don't even know, Lou, 108th Street, and all the way up on every fucking street, somebody sold drugs. Right or wrong? 127th, 135th, 143.
132, 130.
It's ridiculous how many spots there were.
I used to love the mom and pop bodegas there. I used to go there every week and eat the food. I love the Cuban, Dominican, Puerto Rican food. I mean, that's me. I still go to Union City. I go to Las Palmas in Union City.
That's a
And
good
I still
fucking
go there.
place.
My wife and I go there my wife and I go there all the time. I'm
It's-
in Miami a lot, for the fights because I promote now. But
You friends with Vinny
we
Curto?
do. I know Vinny Curto very well.
Vinny's out here with me. He's fucking nuts. I talk to him once a month.
You know to tell me. I know.
Oh, I love him like a brother. In fact, I'm going to try to get him
I
back on the
remember-
podcast, but it's so much drama. He got to get a ride here. He forgets the address. He forgets my name.
Ask him what he did. Ask him. Hey, listen, Coco, don't say I said it, but ask him what he did when they matched him up with Marvin Hagler. He took off for Florida. They sold out the Boston Garden. All the white guys up there, they sold out the Boston Garden. They had Curto. They sold out the Garden. They said, "Oh my God, we're going to make a ton of money." Curto took off. He said, "I'm not fighting this guy." He took off, and they had to give everybody back their money. Curto was in Miami with Angelo Dundee and Chris Dundee, and he was fighting down there with the same manager I had. My manager's name was Murray Gavey, and Curto had the same manager.
How crazy is the boxing business?
Well, boxing itself, I mean, not everybody's a Mayweather. Not everybody's going to make that kind of money. But it's a good stepping stone. If you're a good athlete and you know how to use your hands and you have good wind and you're good, you're good to your body, you can make money. You can make money to make a life for yourself. But if you go in it for a career and you're going to stay there forever, and you're going to box until you're 50 or 40 or 50, you're going to start talking to guys. How are you? Bell's going to ring you to the duck because the guy's going to start swinging at you. But it's a great sport. I mean, look at MMA. Look at MMA. I mean, Joe Rogan's a great guy. But MMA and the UFC, those guys don't make a quarter of what boxers make. They don't make a quarter of it. And who wants to get in there and work and get kicked, get punched in the head, get kicked, get elbowed in the face, in the back of the head, kneed in the chest, in the stomach? I mean, all that stuff for the little bit of money they get. I mean, I just don't understand it. I mean, if you can use your hands, stand up and box, you're making 3, 4, 5 times the money. Why would you get MMA? Don't get me wrong. I like MMA. I watch it. It's a lot of fun. I mean, and they call boxing barbaric. I'm like, oh, you're kidding me, right? We wear 10-ounce gloves. They wear 10, 12-ounce gloves, heavyweights, and they wear, or 10-ounce heavyweights. I'm thinking about the amateurs. But 10-ounce gloves in the pros, and they wear 4-ounce gloves. Let me hit somebody with a 4-ounce glove, Coco, and I'm 62 years old. I'll kill them. They will never get up. If I hit somebody with a left hook with a 4-ounce glove on, it's over. I just got done sparring just now with my client.
Naka Foley's out here too, right?
Huh?
You know a guy named Naka Foley?
Yeah, Foley, yeah.
A boxing guy from Boston, good guy. He's about your age, Vietnam
Yes.
dude. He's out here. He's at Justin Fortune's gym. He's at Justin Fortune's, a guy that
yeah?
trains Pacquiao, the newer. He was the old strength and conditioning, and now he came back after a Rivas or Silva, whatever the guy's name was, quit or got into the beef with Pacquiao's trainer.
Oh.
Did you see the fight in Mexico that just happened, or no, in the Philippines with like the Mexican politician who had like a really
Oh yeah,
obviously
what happened with that?
this dude who apparently had like chest implants too paid this
fuck
like
has
chubby intern dude to like throw a fight. He got like barely tapped and the guy went down. It was pretty hysterical. They said and even the announcers on it were saying like, oh, this guy was just done for a favor for someone he does business with. It was crazy.
What about the Thurman fight? Did you see the Thurman fight?
No.
Me neither. I don't watch a lot
Thurman
of boxing anymore.
got hit with a body shot, and he almost crumbled. You could see his grimace on his face. He was really hurting bad. He went down. He went down to one knee. Got up. He got up. The referee didn't even count him because he got right back up. And he started fighting again and knocked his opponent down 30 seconds later.
That's what you do when you're in pain.
Yep. It's time to go. Let's give it this guy now. I gotta go.
It's funny. I've been hearing about you for a long time, and Danny's. I grew up with those guys, and it was. I think back of those days when we were like just talking to Joey before. You get these fucking goosebumps. I get anxiety that those people didn't come looking. That those people didn't even come looking for us. Like.
Yeah. He's not silly me. We did so many jobs. One night we went to a place called Fuego in
Fuego.
right off of Broadway over there in the city. It was a Dominican nightclub, Fuego. But right the same morning, we robbed these Dominicans. We got them for like 10 keys and about 80,000 in cash. So we got rid of the stuff, and everybody got their money. We're all going out and bought suits. We go out and buy suits and the shoes. It was a Tuesday. So we're all buying all clothes. We meet. We go out with the Fuego. We're in Fuego in the Bronx there, or not the Bronx, but Upper Manhattan before the bridge. And we're dancing. I'm dancing with this Dominican girl, and all of a sudden, Joey comes up to me and goes, Louis, look to your right. I look to the right. And he goes, those are the guys we got this morning. They're all sitting at a table. I go, oh, my God, there they are. I go, waitress, come here. Go over and send a bottle of Dom Perignon to those guys and tell them it's from me. Point to me. So she said, okay. She takes the bottle of Dom Perignon, goes over there, puts it on the table, and points at me. They go, oh, my God, there's that cop. They ran out of the place. I told you. So he goes, you are crazy. I go, look, Joe, we never let them not think we're cops when we leave. You make them think we're cops. We're giving them a break. We're not going to arrest them. We're taking their stuff. We're not arresting them. And they'll think that. And we're cool.
I played a cop 2 times. I could never play a cop. I was telling Joey, I handcuffed twice or 3 times. I handcuffed people. It's horrible. The first time I had to handcuff a guy, I almost shit my pants. I know I farted. I know I farted for sure as I was bending over putting the handcuffs on. That's a horrible thing to do. They're shaking. You got your knee on their leg. They're shaking. Oh, it's fucking terrible. When I got caught for the kidnapping,
they're laying down on the ground. We used to walk in. I used to handcuff everybody because I saw Scarface. I ain't looking to get killed. Put everybody down. And I love Joey and I love Danny. But they were a little hyper at the time, and I told them, look, guys, I had to give him a gun, but I was scared to death to give it to him. Joey, especially he's a great kid, but he'll shoot somebody in a second. Joe, you got to relax, Joe, you got to relax.
Well, that was the biggest fear.
We don't need a murder beat.
That was the biggest fear I had. Whenever I had a weapon in my hand, Jesus fucking Christ. When I went away for kidnapping, and even that day, I remember having the weapon in my hand and just dying inside because I knew that this gun goes off. We were just talking about me buying a gun now, because the fucking, Lou, the world's going to shit.
Oh no, you got to have a gun. You got to keep your family safe.
Yeah, and
you got to have something.
Oh my God!
And the best weapon is a shotgun, Coco. Buy a 12 gauge. Keep it in the house.
I just want to make it clear. I'm not pro or anti-gun control. I don't care what people have. I'm just saying you were asking me if I wanted a gun. That's all I want. Like I don't care what other people
No. We were discussing having a gun. How at one age, Lou, I think after I got out for the kidnapping, I got rid of all the guns. I didn't want any more. I knew that they had brought me. Just having the gun on me would make my body language different. And people that carry can tell when somebody else is carrying. It's a weird energy.
I'm not allowed to own a gun, so I'm not worried about it.
Me neither. Me neither. I'm not allowed to own a gun either. I could just have a bazooka with fucking night goggles and shit.
Would you have to petition them?
Yeah, I'd have to go back to court. But it was over. My felony was over 10 years ago, so I'm okay. I could get them expunged.
Then you can get it. You can get
Both of these
what they call expunged.
Sure, you get them expunged, and I get a weapon. But who wants a weapon on paper? You want to have 92 of them that are fucking dirty, so you can blast them and fucking, I don't know who shot them. Somebody up the corner must have shot them.
I don't know who hit him. Who was that?
Lou, I got to let you go, but I want you to call in again when we have more time, brother.
I definitely will, pal.
I love you
guys.
I love you. We'll be watching for you Friday night on Showtime. Tell them what time.
I'll be there. Around, I think it's around, the fight started 7. TV probably go on around 9:30.
Okay, we'll be watching for you and cheering for you, my brother.
Thank you, pal. Have a good day.
You too. See, if you people just tuned in, this was the criminal version of the church of what's happening now. Where we talk about robbing people and fucking handcuffing people and having a good old time and getting weapons and shit. We don't usually talk about this today. It was just today. I got a couple emails 2 weeks ago and last week about it, and it just seemed fucking scary to me that people want to hear about this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let me give some shout outs. Oh, shit, it's Monday. Thank you, Lee.
I've gone shooting a couple times. It's fun.
I know you have, because you're a pimp. What the fuck, Lee?
What's up, buddy?
What the fuck? That's John Wolf G. You know I love you. Brandy Lynn, looking better and better. I'm gonna see you in a few weeks. Davin Christensen, Ali Baz down in Australia. I haven't heard from you. You got me worried. My man Dante Gazzini, always writing. This guy writes more letters than the Declaration of Independence. DJ Dorchester, Johnny Arch, and Jason Monterey. I love you, cocksuckers. What's up with you, Lee? So you should have gone to Original Joe's. You fucked up.
I apologize.
Respect. Every time you go into San Jose, San Francisco, you gotta go catch one meal Original Joe's.
I got a really, really great burrito.
Oh, that's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Where?
I forget the name of the place, but it was a scary neighborhood. But it was delicious.
What type of burrito was it?
Carne asada.
You love that carne asada,
yeah.
huh?
And she got like a quesadilla squeeza or something. Like they put like the meat and stuff inside the quesadilla.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So good.
You went 2,000 miles to eat Mexican food. You
I
should be
didn't,
shot and
I
fucking
didn't gain
hungry.
any weight.
You didn't go to Original Joe's. You had bubble gum like Ari, like that dude's in Bots. Who's in my
that place
thoughts today. He got his eyes fixed today, so I got to call him in a little while.
If you are ever up there, Mercy would love that place.
What is it, candy? I think I want to give her fucking candy and get it started.
No, they have berries and all that shit.
What kind of berries?
Everything.
Like real fruit berries
Yeah.
or fucking confectionery
Real,
berries?
no, amazing, delicious, fresh.
Fruit.
Yeah, and they
Okay,
got
yeah.
peacocks walking around, and they got train rides, and it's a
Oh, I
whole.
thought you went there to get candy, you said.
I did. That's what I got. Yeah.
What'd you get?
Oh, I got yogurt pretzels. I love them. They're so good, but they're so bad for you.
So you went to San Francisco to get yogurt.
No, I got that on the way
Did
there.
you see what I deal with people?
I also got almonds
He
covered
didn't
in
go
like.
to Original Joe's. He got almonds. He went on an Italian tour. Listen, who goes on a fucking Italian tour? After all we talk about, the
was
last
a
thing I want you to
gift.
make believe is to walk around like a dunce, like a tourist, holding hands. Like, did you take pictures too?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What am I going to do with you?
We
I
walked
can't-
all the way up Lombard. That was hard.
Did you walk all the way? That's why you
Even
lost
the
weight.
stairs.
Did you really?
Yeah.
No anxiety attacks?
No.
nothing?
Oh, that's
Good
fine.
for you.
Paula didn't like going down the hill though. That was funny. She got kind of nervous.
So what's she going to do? Stay up there and fucking yodel-a-hee-hoo?
No, she walked down.
Fucking walk down. This is what I need to talk about, right? What am I going to do with you? A fucking Italian. Well, who gave you an Italian tour as a gift?
Paula.
Why would she do it? And what did you do? What did they do on an Italian tour? What did they give you any food?
Yeah.
What kind of food?
We went and we got chocolate truffles
All right.
from this really cool place, like XOX something.
And you going to different restaurants?
Yeah.
Because I saw houses. What the fuck was that picture of?
Oh, that's the Full House houses. I watched it as a kid. It was cool to see it.
Are you fucking putting me on right now? That was a Full House house that you put the picture of right now.
Yeah, it's cool.
You see, I got to deal with people. And then you people get mad. You say you pick on Lee. I'm trying to help this motherfucker out.
I didn't do anything. I saw it. I was like, oh, cool picture. Thing
You
done.
went on a fucking Italian
No, it
tour
wasn't
and
part
took
of
a
the
picture
tour.
of a fucking house.
Oh, and then we did the bikes. Those were fun but scary.
What bikes? Did you have your helmet on?
No, they didn't give you helmets, and they were putting you on roads with like cars on them. It was in Golden Gate Bridge Park.
So next time you go away, I'm gonna fucking have somebody mug you, just for principle. Just if you see him on a bike, just knock him and her off the fucking bike. It's over. Let him fucking sue him and collect the settlement. We'll take care of him. We'll patch him up. Italian tour. What else did they feed you?
Yeah.
What kind of food did you eat?
Pizza from this place.
All right.
It's really apparently really good. It's across the street from Original Joe's.
All right.
We got pasta from this other place,
All right.
and then we got cannolis. They were good.
Look at you. You had a good time. And that's all
Yeah.
that matters. How many years you been with her now?
2.
Look at you. When I first met you, you had fucking Staminka living with you. You wouldn't eat her ass when she was sleeping. Now you've been with this beautiful Mexican girl for 2 years. You're going to get married. When are you going to propose? This Christmas, like a half a fag?
No,
When?
I kind of want to live with someone before I propose.
So you're going to live with her in sin?
For like, yeah. I think it's important to see if we mesh living together.
Well, what do you think when she comes over? Does she shit in the bathroom?
Yeah,
And what's it smell like?
fine.
Can you live with it?
Yeah. But it's
Right,
different,
that's
man.
it. It's not different. That's it. They come over, they shit. You see how they live. Do they do the dishes? Do they leave them there? Do they leave shit out? You got to clean up after her. It's all those things that matter. Do you have to fucking tell her andale here? You know, this is in your fucking nature to clean. Get it together here. I got to bring a lady in for $40 a week to clean for your fucking ass. Get up, clean this fucking house. The vacuum, everything's waiting for you.
That would not go well with her.
Well, that's the problem then. Well, how you gonna live with it? That's not gonna go well with it.
Because she'll want to do the person coming in.
No, there's no person coming in when a woman lives in a house. That's just a natural thing. What woman's gonna after you take a shit and you leave that shit thing? What woman's gonna leave that in there? That's your home. No woman that lives in a home. Listen, a man could be a filthy pig. A woman ain't got time to be a dirty fucking animal. What woman cannot see that? What woman, if you did something that was there for 2 days, you're gonna wait for some lady to come in? That's what you're trying to tell me.
What?
Well, a lady comes in what? Once a week.
No, she come once in like every month and a half.
Right, so what does this girl do for the other month and a half? Just let the laundry pile up and everything pile up?
Oh no, we do laundry.
You gotta clean. You gotta underlay, mop and get the fucking vacuum, and you gotta do the room and the fucking shower curtains, and you know, there's much that you could do. But if you don't tell them to do it, they're never gonna do it. Then what are you gonna do? You're gonna live around a clean lady. Men could be fucking filthy pigs. Women cannot be fucking pigs. A woman has to pick up that piece of paper if she sees it, even if she didn't fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? Or she could tell you to do it.
Yeah.
But that's the number one thing, that they fucking clean a little. Everybody's got to chip in. But if you're going to eat burritos and leave the dish on the table and I got to pick it up for you, I don't want you around. Right or wrong?
Yeah.
I don't want nobody around that don't handle their shit. If you're a woman and I go out to fucking... I was talking to somebody the other day that was going through a divorce. And he said that what bothered him the most is when he got home, there wasn't dinner made. Because how can you live like that? Your man's out. Your man's doing shit. I don't give a fuck, but, you know.
Well, I've started to think about that, man, and I just it's like, how can I expect well, if Paula wanted to, that'd be great, but like, I don't know how to ask someone like to expect like, yeah, if we're living together, you're gonna cook. I don't know.
You gotta. What the fuck?
Weird.
That's what women do. What? They can't go to eat out every fucking night. Listen, let me tell you a little story. I'm gonna tell you a very important story that irks me every day because I miss this kid more than you'd ever know. When I first got here, I used to be friends with this fucking Staminka kid, Gavin. But Gavin had a half a Momo friend named Keith. And I like Keith. Keith came down here to be a comic. He used to hum. When he'd hum. So we used to call him the Hummer. And he was insecure, and he had his insecurities. So I'm insecure, so I know what it feels like to be insecure, and I took a liking to him. I loved him. He was a freak. But he was the nicest guy in the world. And people always took advantage of this fucking guy. In fact, he let girls stay at his house that he was in love with, like that they were in a bind, and then the girls would move in guys and fuck in front of him. It was horrible.
Oh,
the guy was a stepping stone. And I never raised my hand. I never said anything to him. I used to talk to Gavin about it and go, you got to talk to him because I didn't grow up with him. You did. You did. You have to talk to him, you know? And we go out to lunch, man, 3 times a week. This kid worked part-time and probably made 120 grand a year as a TV installer. Fucking smart as a whip, man. Smart as a fucking whip. And he had some dirty whores living with him, man, that he would fuck in the ass and take pictures and shit, but they would move a boyfriend in for like a month until they got their life together. It was fucking horrible. And we talked to him, we'd get him high, and he'd come to the comedy store and hang out with me. I really liked him. I tried to be extra nice to him. Like if I borrowed money from him, I'd pay him back when I told him. He used to lend me money for coke. I tell him the truth, this is for coke, and he'd tell me he didn't want to do it, but he'd still give it to me. And I made sure I always paid him on time because everybody else wouldn't pay him at all. I went out of my way to not do what everybody else did to this guy. And I know that everybody beat on him as a floor mat, so I never really said nothing to him about his personal life, even though it bothered the fuck out of me. You know me. One day he comes to me and he gets sent on a blind date. He gets sent on a blind date with a doctor. He's making $120,000, $130,000 a year. He lives good. He's got every movie on DVD. He's got big screen. You go to his house, dog. Jesus Christ, it's like better than a movie theater. Or I would go over there and see Heat, the shooting scene.
Okay.
We'd smoke dope on his balcony and just watch the Heat, the shooting scene. Between me and you, I love this guy. If I got to say the top 10 people I met in my life, I loved him. And I wanted everything good for him. And he hooked up with her. He got put on a blind date, and she was a big-time doctor. And she made $2 million a year. And me and him were tight. He was chubby. So him and I used to go eat, and I knew what we used to eat. And I know what he'd eat with this guy. And I know me and him got along the way we did because we both yucked a lot of foods. Like, we would not even think of eating a lot of foods.
Right.
You know, we would not eat. His big thing was almonds.
He doesn't like almonds?
No, he loved almonds.
Oh, okay.
I love almonds. Almonds is great for you. No cancer. You know. And I love this motherfucker. I love this dude, you know. But he meets this girl, and now he's telling me how he's going to eat, like, Korean tongue and all this shit. And I'm looking at this guy, and I'm looking at him, Lee, and I could see that he's breaking more and more in front of me with this woman. But I'm not saying nothing. I fucking hate this chick. I don't fucking like her at all. To the point where he proposes to her, he's going to marry her. I'm like, I'm not even going to the fucking wedding. I booked myself out that week purposely.
She's Yoko.
I loved him, and I didn't think he was ready for a wedding, and I didn't think that... I just knew this wasn't going nowhere. I just knew that this was bad. Well, this motherfucker married him, and she got pregnant right away. And guess what she told him? She goes, after I have the kid, I don't give a fuck about your job. I'm not getting up with this kid at night. You're getting up with this fucking kid. And I got to get to work. You know why? Because I make $2 million a year. I don't give a fuck about your job. Now, even if she didn't have a job, she had a job that paid her $750,000 a year just overlooking medical papers for civil lawsuits and shit like that.
Okay.
$750. I go, and when he came to me, I go, dog, I could live off $750. Now, she was Korean, and she was dirt cheap. You want me to talk to you about dirt cheap?
Hell yeah.
No TV, no cable, no air conditioning.
Do they hate fun?
I don't, bro, this was horrible.
That's like all I need in a house.
And he'd come to me and tell me this, Lee, and you know me, Lee. I'm like, I'm not even going to listen to this.
What do they do?
They would, no. And then I don't know what was going on, Lee.
Hot
I
reading?
don't know what was going on. So one day, I just couldn't take when he'd tell me this stuff. We would meet 3 times a week for at least breakfast. We'd meet at the IHOP across from the In-N-Out in Hollywood, next to the sneaker warehouse there. And one day, this motherfucker's telling me all this shit, how he doesn't have a job, you know. Oh, and here's the best. He had to take care of her mother. Lee, they had no air conditioning. They had no air conditioning, no cable TV, no TV at all. This kid lived on TV. You don't fucking understand. He had to watch the kid at night, change the diapers, and then watch the kid in the daytime till a nanny came at like 2 o'clock. Then he could work for 3 hours. But if the mother needed to take a bath or something, he'd have to bathe the mother. Lee, this was, my insides were on fire. And one day, I told my friend that was closer with him, but this time I had a relationship with the kid. And I think me and Ralphie May talked to him. Well, a week later, he stopped talking to Ralphie May. And about a week after that, he stopped talking to me. Because we told him, Lee, you got to get some type of, Keith, you got to get some type of semblance in your life. You have to catch this because it's getting worse. You know what he's doing today?
What?
She divorced him, left him for a doctor. and he lives downstairs in the bottom apartment with another loser buddy of his who's still writing Mrs. Doubtfire too, because he was waiting for fucking Robin Williams to do Mrs. Doubtfire too. They live in the basement. He got his TV business going again because he got a nanny for the baby, but he pretty much has the baby 24 hours a fucking day, and he has to live downstairs and listen to his wife getting fucked by another fucking man. He sent me a message a month ago. You know what that message was? I should have listened to you. I'm sorry and I love you. I haven't heard back from him. I haven't told anybody at all, not even my wife. I haven't contacted him because that's what happened. I talked to him and he got mad at me. You gotta take control somewhere. If you don't tell this person that you love what you feel and what you expect from them, it's not gonna go nowhere. It's gonna happen 10 years too late. Do you follow what I'm saying to you? You don't have to act like a butcher, but you have to stick up for yourself in every relationship. If you gotta fucking live with her before you marry her, what the fuck are you marrying her for then? You want a demo drive or some shit?
I guess.
No, she's giving you a demo drive right now.
Yeah. Well, she can't move out until after she graduates anyway, so. I really think
She's gonna have expectations from you, and you're gonna have expectations from her. That's in every relationship.
Yeah.
But if you don't raise your fucking hand, Juana comes over Mondays and Fridays to watch Mercy when Terry runs errands.
Okay.
Okay? Who do you think cleans the house from Tuesday to Friday? You think the dishes just stay there and the kitchen just... We do.
No, yeah, of course, yeah.
We do. You just can't sit on the couch and vegetate. Everybody got to kick in here.
No,
You
Paul.
got to do dishes and everybody got to cook because you can't do 40 a night every night.
Right.
That's $280 a week, 40 a fucking night. So somebody's got to get a cookbook and somebody's got to learn how to flip those fucking tacos. Because if not, what's the use? What's the fucking use? What am I getting fucking married for? You follow me? A man has to respect a woman and a woman has to respect a man. And they have to make it fit somewhere along the line. But you know what? If you don't know how to cook, I don't give a fuck. You got to fucking learn. You got to, right or wrong, you got to, Hey, listen, my mom taught me how to do laundry. So whenever I see my baskets filled, I pick it up and take it downstairs. But I'm not doing my wife's fucking laundry. You kabish? You follow me?
Yeah.
We both kick in, but everybody got to kick in. You just can't sit there and fan and go.
I've never been this far into a relationship before.
Oh, I know you haven't, but you have to raise your hand from time to time and go, I ain't going for that. When I got off the phone with you, and you're not going to believe this, I didn't think about the Keith thing until you told me the other day you took the picture of Original Joe's, and I said, are you going to go? And you go, I don't know, I have to sell it to Paula. And right there, I knew. You don't have to sell it. We're going to Original Joe's. Well, it doesn't matter because it's the best value in town for the dollar. I'm going to take you to where fucking Dean Martin used to come up here with Sinatra. You want to take me on some Italian tour with some of these fake motherfuckers that sell focaccia bread? No. I'm taking you to where it all started. Right or wrong? That's the 40 fucking years they've been there. 60 fucking years they've been there.
Wow.
There's no convincing. You just go, let's go. Where are we going? We're going to go inside and eat. But nothing. Sit down. There's something on there, a chicken parmesan, a French fry, something. But you got to eat here. You come up here for 50 fucking years. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a savage. Every day tonight, Terry's having a bad day. The dryer broke.
That sucks.
She was at the zoo with the baby, and she got the call, and then she had to come back, and we had to drive Juana, and then we had to all go together, and I had to take the baby to the dryer mat and dry the clothes, and, so I told her, I go, don't worry about nothing, we're going to go fucking eat. When I go home, I have a short list of where we're going to go, but she's not going to make me eat something that I don't fucking like, or I don't want to fucking eat, She's going to go, well, I'm in the mood for this. There's something I could, you know what I'm saying? But there's sometimes I can't fucking step in there. And you're not going to have disagreements, but you're going to have boundaries in a relationship.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, no,
I don't know. I'm asking you. I don't fucking know.
It just if you like in the old. I don't know if it's old enough. I don't know what the word is. Relationships, the wife cooks, and my mom cooked, and her mom cooks, and everyone's mom's cooked, but it's never been discussed. Paula's cooked for me a lot, and she does like to cook for me, but it isn't like an everyday thing, and I don't want to have her cook every day, but I've also been like, if we get married, how does that revert? Because you've talked about it with your first marriage. You said you got like married to get somebody to like do your laundry or something. I'm like, does that happen? And I'm like, I don't know how that.
I was young and I was dumb.
Well, no,
I didn't know what to expect. I've always been the type of guy, I don't want no woman looking at my underwear. I don't want nobody looking at my underwear.
Right.
I just smelled my shoe before. I'm 8 feet away from my shoe. You think I want somebody washing my socks? You follow me? So I've always been the type of guy that's very impersonal. When I go to a woman's house, when I go to somebody's house, let's talk about it. When I go to somebody's house and I go to pee, if there's a man and a woman that live there and that bathroom isn't impeccable, I don't even look in her fucking face anymore. You follow me? If I go into your bathroom and there's a pair of panties backwards and I see a skid mark on that fucking yellow stain of pee or something, that's happened to me. I've gone to people's homes and I've gone to the bathroom to pee, and in the bathroom on the floor, there's a woman's underwear with a yellow mark and a snatch.
No, that's
I won't
terrible.
even touch the crackers. I won't even taste the fucking dip. Because if you don't have the chance to pick your fucking underwear up, well, what am I going to do there? And I've done it. I've gone to people's houses that have had money, and I've had to go into their bathroom, and I've been in shock that a woman lives there.
Jesus.
Like that a woman puts her fucking hot little pussy on that toilet with pee on it. Like yellow pee on the fucking thing. That anybody would look at that and wipe it down. That's what I'm saying. At one point, do you walk past something?
Oh no, I agree with that. It just is a weird. I don't know how you would just go to assuming they do it. That's all.
How does somebody walk past something and see it there? I'm a firm believer. I don't ever want you to come to my house and see a dish in my sink. That's the biggest disrespect you could do to somebody, is me coming to your house and see 6 dishes in the sink. I don't want to see that, dude. And I don't ever want you to come to my house and me see that unless we're just cooking and eating. That's just me. I'm from the school that you finish a dish, you get the fuck up with that dish, and that's me. I get up with my dish every night. Terry has never brought me a dish or taken a dish unless you're over and she's like, bring it in. But besides that, if you're not over or something, I get up and get that food myself. And when I finish, I get up, I rinse the fucking dish. In my house, I had to rinse the fucking dish. And even if I didn't wash it, I had to rinse it to help out the dude or the woman who was washing it. I go to your house to eat tonight with your mother. When I was in high school, I pick up myself and I put the dish in the sink. And I hit it with water. And they'll say, leave it there. And then I leave it there. But I don't know where anybody else was raised. That's how I was raised.
I never did the water thing, but yeah. I
always hit a dish with water.
Really?
Yeah, always. Why let the cheese? This is easy. This is pre-soaking.
I don't know what plans they have for the sink.
What's that?
I don't know what, like, maybe they want to do something with the sink. I never know where to put the plate.
Where to put the plate? Yeah, but you soak the fucking plate for them.
Okay.
You soak it for them. If I'm eating, if I cook something and it's got a film, I fucking put it in the sink and you soak it for somebody. And you hit it with soap with hot water.
That's very good.
And now later on, when they come in, the fucking shit is done. I've been to people's houses and there's a stack of fucking dishes and fruit flies. I run out of there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, no, but when I've always been alone, so I've always done all my cleaning. So it's just now that it's getting to be where we are gonna move in kind of soon, and be like, how does it? I don't know if it just happens. Is it like, do we talk about it? I don't know.
Well, next week when she comes over, fucking put some dishes out. If she don't pick them up, then you gotta have a talk with her. Go, what the fuck? You sat here for 2 days and then pick that fucking glass up? What are you doing with your life? Right or wrong? When you're showering, she should come out, throw some coffee on for fucking Lee. And what the fuck is going on with this house? Why does this house smell like this? Oh, he left the dish out. Boop, 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 boop. You come out, you see that she's doing that, you take the vacuum. That's what a couple does.
Yeah.
But I'm going to see you walk past the dish 18 times with an ice cream cup you left there. You better get the fuck up. You better check yourself and check who the fuck. The fuck. Right or wrong? I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm not talking about being
I don't know either.
an animal, but you got to say something. Somebody's got to say something.
She's not messy around my house.
No.
So yeah, I don't know. I've just been thinking about it. I wonder what other people.
When you wake up and go in the shower, does she make your bed?
No, we don't make the bed.
You got to make the bed. That's number one.
Who makes the bed?
Well, yeah, that's what somebody on the natch would do. Got to make the bed. I just fucked in that fucking bed. I'm going to get in that bed without, you know what I'm saying? Right or wrong? I don't know.
I never care about
Yeah,
bed.
you got to make the bed, dog. The bed's got to be made. You going to jump into an unmade bed?
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Why?
Because it's fucking
It's
disgusting.
just a bed.
No. Well, let me ask you, do you wipe your ass after you shit every time?
Yes.
Well, what you got to do the same thing with the bed. It's got to look nice when you jump in. The sheets are fresh. You spray some Febreze in that motherfucker. When I get up in the morning after I wash my little monkey and I do the tweets and shit, I turn around, I put the bed back up, I fold it over. You move the pillows, you get them nicey nice.
You take it a little bit more seriously than I do.
Absolutely. You want to live like a doctor, right?
I have good sheets.
Listen, man, I've been poor. So the two pillows I had to make work all those years.
Yeah.
So you fucking fluff them back the fuck up and you spray some Febreze on those motherfuckers so you can hit that pillow with bad breath all over again for 8 fucking hours. Relationships are tough, man. And you have to say something. That's where disagreements come. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. You can't say you fucking animal clean the house, you know, but you could say you fucking animal clean the house in different ways. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, our sponsors, let's give a big shout out to Onnit.com, the fucking masters in nootropics. That's the fucking word. I always get stuck, people. You know me. I'm no fucking Phi Beta Kappa. Complete earth-grown nootropics with alpha GPC, AC11. Alpha Brain is really making it happen. The thing I love the most about this whole company is with Alpha Brain, they give you 100% money back guarantee. And when somebody has that type of guarantee, we don't want the product back, I believe in it, okay? It's like Michael Jordan. Even if Michael Jordan scores 40, you defend against the other 4 fucking morons. And Michael Jordan's always going to score 40. I don't even know what I mean by that. You got to eat what I ate today.
I was with you, buddy. I don't know.
You want to eat half of that cookie now?
No, we already ate half of that cookie.
Onnit has the best stuff. The best thing to do with Onnit, even after I talk about it, anybody talks about Onnit, just go to Onnit.com. Just take a chance. Go check out the hemp protein. Go check out the Shroom Tech Sport, the Shroom Tech Immune. Go check out the coconut oil for the coffees and whatnot. Go check out the tea, the testosterone booster. They have an array of products that are going to rock your world. But listen, don't take it from me. Just start with Alpha Brain. Go to Onnit right now and press in.
Church.
And get 10% off your first order, okay? Order Alpha Brain. Give it a shot. You're going to have some dark fucking nightmares, which are nice to have color dreams. But after a few weeks, you're going to feel so much better. The focus is going to come on. You're going to go, what the fuck made me think of that? Please, give it a shot. 100% money back guarantee. Who the fuck are you kidding, all right? Number 2, Hitty Cigs. From the beautiful cigars to the beautiful e-cigs, 1,200 guaranteed fucking puffs. You go to one of these ISIS 7-Elevens, what do they give you? They give you one of those sticks. What do you get? 10 fucking puffs for $10? Right now, Hitty Cigs is running a special 5 for $50. That's $10 a fucking piece, 1,200 guaranteed hits. This motherfucking cigar has been going for 3 to 4 weeks growing strong. Am I bullshitting, Lee?
You're not bullshitting, Joey.
Look at the clouds I'm blowing, like Bob Marley, you understand me? But don't fucking take it from me. Go to Hitty Cigs right now and press in.
Joey's Church.
And get 5 for 5. So what you
5
do
for
is you
50.
get 5 for 50. You get 2 cigars, and you get yourself the 24 milligram cigarette, the 8 to the 16, and get the 0. Just cut the 8 out. You're just wasting your time. It's like air with fucking whatever. And the 2 cigars, you hold on to them. You go to Vegas, Atlantic City, you can blow smoke in bitches' faces. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can blow smoke. Blow that hit e-cig fucking blow and smoke in some bitch's eyeball. See what happens to it. Fucking starts twitching and shit. She goes into convulsions. Anyway, go to Hitty Cigs right now and press in.
Joey's Church.
Boom! And get yourself 5 for 50 right now, all right? And to my fucking Goombas from fucking West New York, New Jersey, my Cubans, I love you motherfuckers. Nailed it life. Those Goomies are mono. Whether it's the Goomies or the little fucking white chocolate patties they gave us last time, you're going down. You understand me? You're going fucking down like Rory McDonald, like fucking holding on to your
That was
head.
a good fight.
That was a great fucking fight. But anyway, go to naileditlife.com and take a look at all the stuff, the vapors. Take a look at their vapor pen. They have so many great things on that webpage. They're the master of the dab. You understand me? If you like dabbing, these are the motherfuckers you want to run with. Go to naileditlife.com and press in.
Joey Diaz.
Boom! And get 20% off your vapor pen. And also, go to Iron Dragon TV for classic martial arts. Press in.
Joey.
Boom! And get 2 free films on the fucking cuff from Iron Dragon TV, all right? Beside that, we'll be back Wednesday for our 300th episode. We'll be here 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock East Coast. With who? Sadiq. I love you guys. Stay black. Have a great fucking 2 days. Thank you for listening to this gibberish tonight. It was tremendous. What are you looking at, Lee? Put on John Lennon. Let's get this party started, all right?
We're doing it.
Huh?
We're doing it, buddy.
We're doing what? Look at the shape. You can't even fucking talk.